Welcome to the Loxton Oval for coverage of the 1995 Grand Final. And with me in commentary today, Leon Filkey. Welcome, Leon. And as we look out across this Loxton Oval, the sun-drenched Loxton Oval, a wonderful atmosphere pre-Grand Final bounce.
Absolutely magnificent. Rex, not a breath of fresh air around the place. So it's going to get a little bit tough for the players as the game progresses. But certainly magnificent scene here. Big crowd. Renmark already, Rex, with a couple of premierships, so that will certainly give their senior side a bit of a boost. But as you've mentioned, it really is magnificent. The stand is full. The oval is in magnificent condition, so I think we should be in for an absolute thriller. We watch the appearance now of central umpires Richie Roberts and Greg Reeks, and we wish them all the best, closely followed by the boundary umpires and all of the necessary people to adjudicate here today, and we await the arrivals of the teams. Well, the Renmark Rovers Football Club have certainly left no one in any doubt, Leon, that they are very powerful in season 95. Completed the season undefeated in the thirds, winning quite handsomely there by 58 points, and as they do their victory lap in the seconds, convincing winners in the end by 91, and a very powerful performance by those respective sides. Certainly, Rex, and I think Renmark, one of the few clubs, if the only club, have put together three premierships since the junior Colts, of course, have gone out. 81 and 82, they put together three flags. So if that's an omen, we'll have to wait and see. But I'll give Barmera a pretty big chance, Rex. I think that they've had a good preparation. Tony Fisher is a very efficient coach. He doesn't panic, and I suggest that the Roos will be very, very competitive. I think it'll be a great game of footy. But Renmark, yes, you're right. 2 flags already. That must be a big incentive for their seniors.
Barmera-Monash certainly got that blend of youth and experience, and it must be a wonderful thing for Burns, Buecker and Beach, who played in that golden era, Leon, to help the young guys along to perhaps another flag. And for Renmark, they've got some very exciting talent and some absolute class acts in this league. And really the grand final is 50-50, isn't it? And we await the arrival of the teams. The 2 banners are up. And a lot of interesting faces in the crowd too. I just see down to my left Elkin Riley, the 1960 Willis medalist, who tied with Pickles Pickering, and he's a former Barmera champion. He's there with Hallett Chouard, Leon, who won the first Peter Frankham Best First Year Player, and what a wonderful thrill for them as Barmera-Monash come onto the ground to run up to their big banner. Red Buecker leading them out, very excited. They had a wonderful preparation to the season, and they're about to burst through. Late onto the ground, John Glasson, who I thought in the second semi, Leon started to show some real skills.
I tell you what, Rex, they said he went through that banner pretty hard, but yes, you're right. I suppose one sad note today, Rex, would of course be Glenn Millard. Of course, been a wonderful player for so many years in Riverland football. As the Renmark coming near the ground too now, but yes, certainly bad luck for Glenn Millard. Has certainly suffered that injury in the second semi-final, so he won't be part of the side.
John Personos leads the Renmark Rovers out, and they've got their mascot in attendance. Craig Lambert and Rick Modra will play as they gather and rush through that banner. And they've got a good chance in this grand final. The favourites haven't always done that well in the R.F.L, have they, Leon? To come into this, it's really 50-50, and Renmark can approach, I think, the game with a fair bit of confidence.
Well, I think you look through the season, Rex, and of course Barmera do have the edge with winning all the minor round games and the second semi-final. But as you mentioned, when it comes to grand final day, I think we only have to go back to 1 week ago, Rex, in the netball grand final when Renmark were undefeated. Lox North came out and had a big victory. So really, it is a 50-50 on the day, and the side that's motivated the best will certainly, and I guess the side that gets away today, we saw Renmark get away early in the second semi-final. Barmera fought back, and that's the one thing about Barmera I've liked this year. They have tremendous fighting characters, and I think that they will certainly put up a good show. As you mentioned, probably man for man, Renmark certainly do have the talent, and I suggest that fellas like the Tracy boys certainly are going to be very important today to Renmark's success. They'll certainly get plenty of drive out of players like Personos and Hanley, but I think it's just going to be a fantastic game, and the matchups are going to be sensational.
We're getting great support from the commentary team here. With the commentary team today, the technical people in the eye in the sky up there is Dyer's Transport. They're there with their big crane, and we've got Ashley and Jason up the top to capture all the action. Wonderful scene here as we look out across the Loxton Oval.
Yeah, it certainly is, Rex. And the one thing that has been spoken about in AFL, of course, letting the kids out to the ground, I suppose that's one of the pluses in country football, to see all the kids on the ground kicking the footballs around and part of the atmosphere. But as you mentioned, it's certainly fantastic again to see Dyers in support here of here. It's magnificent. The ground is in sensational conditions. Ken Nitschke at the moment, the R.F.L president, giving us plenty of instructions again. So, Rex, it's all set for what should be a fantastic game.
And we go down to the boundary now, and in commentary with us today, Peter Kahn and Darren Hoytson-Roeder. Welcome, boys, and what's it like down on the boundary line?
Oh, it's absolutely great down here, Rex. How are you, mate? It really should be a great game. It's a great atmosphere down here. I think it should be a great game. Personally, I think these two teams have been easily the best this year. as you can see now, players are just doing their warm-ups, and I think that more importantly, they'll be just trying to get used to this atmosphere that some players might not be used to. The ground looks to be in perfect condition. The weather's absolutely perfect. Heading for a top today of 20 degrees, and I think it would be very close to that now. Just looking around here, the crowd is very good. I'd say, just taking a guess, maybe 2,000, 2,500 people. And just as a matter of interest, these two teams last met in a grand final back in 1987, and on that occasion, Barmera won by 51 points, kicking 17-14 to 9-11. And without any further ado, I'd now like to welcome Peter Kahn. Now, Peter, big game, big atmosphere. How do you see it going?
Oh, very big game. I think Renmark will win the game, but Barmera will keep fighting all the way. Renmark have shown over the last couple of years they've been a bit down in the finals, but I think they'll learn from this experience. But the other thing that we've got to look at is how Rick Modra and Craig Lambert will pull up. Craig Lambert only lasted to half time, and Rick's sort of been a bit underdone with fitness. But at the same token, we've got to look at Barmera. Barmera is sort of struggling with numbers for the quality of this for A-grade level, and I think it'll be the last 4 players selected, and both sides will decide who wins this game.
What about Dempsey and Todd Clark? Obviously, they'll be players to watch.
Oh, very much so. Dempsey's is a slick mover. He's one of the prime movers at Renmark, and Todd Clark's been having a fantastic year, and he's been giving a lot of drive. There's a lot of other players to look at, like Lyndon Burns from Barmera. He sets up their loose play, and Renmark will certainly have to look at him and watch him closely. And on the other side, you've got people like John Personals, who sets up their running play from the back line.
Well, Rex, that's all from us from down here at the moment. It's back to you in the commentary booth.
And we've just seen the toss of the coin, and fittingly, Leon, it was done by Peter Frankham, the newest life member of the R.F.L, and Steve Buecker has won the toss for Barmera-Monash. They'll go to the swimming pool end in the first quarter, and as they do their preliminaries and get ready for the start of the grand final, we'll take a break and be back shortly. Umpire Roberts holds the ball off to start the 1995 grand final. And Renmark going to the left of screen. They've got the first bounce under control as the boys fly in from the side. The ball on the ground. Plenty of players around there in a big pack, and the umpire, I think, will have no alternative but to ball it up as Modra emerges with the ball. Umpire Greg Reeks in his first grand final, and he was pretty pumped up before the start, very excited, and it's a big day for the umpires as well, as Murray goes in hard against Kruger. The ball in dispute, plenty of players around the ball as Fletcher emerges. Handball goes to a space. Here comes the run of Harris. Harris out of the back line, spotted his teammate in Machiro. He pats the ball ahead towards the grandstand wing. Renmark come there in numbers. They gather it in through the Cole, but the boundary line's too close, and it rushes out over the line, and it will be thrown in right by the Renmark reserve shoulder. They omitted Clayton Leon and went with Modra and that player Lambert, both suspect with injury, but it'll be interesting to see how they go as the hit out is won by Barmera-Monash. Here's Clark, will put them into attack, and it's picked up by Howe, drifting down from half forward.
Simon Howe between half forward and wing for the Roos. Umpire Roberts bringing Bonner back on the mark. Looks he may have the tagging role. In towards the 15-metre zone, looking for Tyrrell. Out and takes the mark on his chest. Diving mark in front of Lambert. Mark Tyrrell, son of former star full forward Barry Tyrrell. From 55 metres, puts it in towards centre half forward. The big pack of players, Venables is in there to clear for the Rovers. No, he can't. He dives on the ball. He's gathered in by Machura. Machura with an opportunity here. Gets the handball half smothered. Kasolki comes through hard. Picked up by Bonner. Bonner from the 50-metre line goes towards the open spaces. A chance now for Toddy Harris in front. A chance for Dempsey to tackle. He pushed him out. It could go over the line out of bounds. No, it hasn't. Dempsey kept it in good hands by Dempsey. Looking for Learman. Learman from centre wing. Under pressure. Throws the ball underneath him. Now he gets it out cleverly. A chance again for the Rovers to clear. A bit of a fumble here early stages of the first quarter. Again, it's Kasolki with it's a high kick rather than a long kick. Rex said it couldn't even be out of bounds on the full. No, it isn't. It's been marked just inside the boundary line by not by Dale Hillman, but by Brad Pittaway.
Pittaway will put the Roos into attack as they come to half forward. A good strong lead by Tyrrell, but he didn't arrive. Here's Personos. He'll clear outside 50, up towards centre wing where the space is plenty for Renmark. They gather it in beautifully on the run, and they go into attack now towards the half forward line. A good lead there from that player Tracy. He didn't quite gather the ball in, and it's out of defence by the Barmera players in Hawley, but it's picked up nicely by Ben Tracy. In short towards Murch, and Murch saw a little bit of danger, so he didn't go on with it. Now he's too far out to score, so he'll look for leads up the ground. There's one coming from Modra, and the big chest went out, but it didn't gather the ball in. In hot pursuit was Bueka. Ball to ground. Here's a snapshot by Dempsey, and he hits the post. First score in the grand final. A minor scored to Greg Dempsey, and at the 4-minute mark, Renmark on the board, 1 behind 1 point.
It's been quite prominent, Rex. Greg Dempsey, very, very skilled player. Wonderful player. The RTS 5A Footballer of the Year. Kicked off from the Roos, looking to the outer side of the ground. A chance there for Kasulki, likewise has been prominent early. Nice pass over the top towards Toddy Clark. Clark from the wing now, an opportunity to set Barmer up in towards the half-forward line. Burns is there with an opportunity to take a good mark, or one-handed mark. Hasn't been paid. No play on Venables with a handball under pressure. A chance now for the Roos to have a shot from Price in towards the full forward. Tyrrell from behind. Spoiled, put the punch onto Lambert. Here's a chance for the Roos to score the first goal of the match, and I think he's got Simon Howe has scored the first blow for the Roos. What a terrific start to Barmera-Monash, and a great opening of this 1995 grand final. A good build-up from half-back there by the Roos, and finally Simon Howe's had a wonderful season, Rex, has kicked their opening goal.
Yes, ball to boot very swiftly indeed, and he certainly got class, hasn't he? And that was a very good reply by Barmera, who worked the ball in well. Big Pricey did well, and got them up into the teeth of goal, and Howe didn't let them down. Ball back at centre field as we hit 5 minutes in the first quarter. The ruck's to it. It's gathered in by DeCole. He was unloaded very smartly. A big congested pack of players there as Merch emerges. Some heavy body work there, and into attack go the Rovers up towards the half-forward line. Coming through very nicely indeed there is Hutchinson. On towards Kasulki. Quickly to the boot, Kasulki up to half-forward, but gathered in by Bonner. The mark not paid. On the cricket pitch area, Lelman gathers. He goes with a half-distance kick out wide looking for Rover, and finds that player. And what a wonderful second semi he had as he took another mark. Had something like 15 marks in the second semi, and there's the first of them today, and he chips it in short to DeCole, and he has the shot for goal now from pretty well straight out in front, but a fair way out. It'll take a pretty good kick to get it through from there.
Rex, you would have played against his father, wouldn't you?
Yes, I did. One of the best Rovers that we had in this competition for many years, Mirko DeCole, and here's Adrian DeCole shooting for goal now. Ran up very close to the man on the mark. It won't quite make the distance. A very big leap there by the Barmera defence. They bring it to ground, looking for someone to gather that ball in for a snapshot, but it's forced away from the back lines there towards Clark. The runner's on from Beach. He jams it on the boot out wide towards the scoreboard side. Almost gathered in there by Burns, but Renmark too smart for him there, and Dempsey appeals for the free, and umpire Reeks will have none of it. Or was it Beach appealing? The tackle was terrific. Holding the ball, holding the man. One never knows as Reeks bounces the ball near the goal, the scoreboard.
Yes, from the 15-metre line, it's the Roos out of defence. Looks like it's Burns. Burns with the left foot towards the wing position, wing and half forward. A chance again here for the Roos now. An opportunity with a bounce in the pit away. He comes through the 50-metre line. A chance for a shot for goal. He's going to go very close. Renmark defence getting back. I think it could be through for a great goal. I think it's a fantastic goal. Yes, it's been paid. A magnificent goal to Brad Pettaway, and he certainly has been prominent early for the Roos. But another good setup there through Burns. They worked the ball from half-back very nicely, and a great display by Brad Pettaway, Rex. And the Roos, well, looking pretty good in the early minutes.
And a quick comment from down on the boundary now. Peter Kahn, what have you seen in the early moments?
Start off with Rick starting on the ball. He's gone back to full forward. Renmark have thrown a lot of weight at Barmera, but players like Kasulki and Clark are starting to get into the game and really giving full benefit to Barmera. And while Clark and Kasulki are performing well, I think Barmera will be a threatening side today.
Ball gathered in now by Handley for his first possession over the top to Lelman. It was nicely deflected by Barmera-Monash. They tap it out wide towards centre wing. Opportunity now for the Rovers through to Cole. He's on towards Dempsey, or Handley rather, very smartly. He's a loose man, Murch, up around that centre half forward position. He's got time to steady and fire on goal, and he's converted. A quick response there to Renmark. So that's their first major. Handley gets all the pats as well he might. 1-1 to 2 goals. We've played 6 minutes in the first quarter of the grand final.
Yes, good set up, Rex. They certainly played the loose man well there, and Handley was instrumental, and well, he certainly is going to be a big part of the performance of Remote today. Former Hawthorn and St Kilda AFL star has played a bit at centre half forward this year, but mainly on the ball. Back in the centre, I guess, Rex, this is where it really is going to count today, isn't it? Kruger and Price are going to be very important in the centre square. Murray.
Adrian DeCole quite prominent too in the early stages.
It's an opportunity now. If it's Murray, but Burns, little Burns takes the tap away. It's out towards Eleftheriadis, who was sensational in the second semi-final against Renmark. Persnos in hot pursuit. Eleftheriadis picks it up very nicely done by Eleftheriadis. He gets the handball across, not a good handball, but under pressure. Here's a chance for Barmera-Monash now through Benny Fletcher. Fletcher with a nice pass towards Kasolgi. Kasolgi from between half forward and centre of the ground, pumps it in towards, oh, what a big, no, it's a free kick. I thought Price was nearly paid. Lambert will take the free kick, I think. No, it'll be Brendan Venables. He gives it off with quick hands to Lambert. Lambert on his left foot out towards Persnos on the half-back flank. So Persnos to relieve for the Rovers. John Persnos, the Willis medalist a couple of years ago, a good player. It's a bit short for Rover. He's tackled by young Fletcher. Matthew Hutchinson, rather. I'll get these two young kids mixed up. He's got Glasson at the back, but he doesn't worry about him. Pumps it towards half forward. Another good lead here in front of Aaron Gill is Brad Pittaway. Pittaway's busy early. Another good pass to Tyrrell. So the Roos work it towards their full forward. Oh, they're about 40 metres from goal, right on the boundary line. Opportunity for Tyrrell. It's a nice looking kick right in towards the goal square. It might even bounce through. No, it's Murray to take it through for one behind Rex. So an opportunity there went squandering for the Roos, but Murray saved the day for the Roos.
2 goals, 1 plays, 1 goal, 1. And we've played almost 10 minutes of the first quarter of the 95 grand final as Robbie Bonner brings the ball into play, kicks it to himself in fact, and now he's off and running with 2 bounces, looks for a third and will need to dispose of the ball now, and he goes on towards centre wing looking for Persnos and Lambert. Oh, nice mark, Lawson. Very well done indeed in front of the big crowd here at Loxton. That was well appreciated by those in attendance and saw that one. Here it comes towards centre half forward, fisted out from the side towards Burns. Burns plays on smartly. Price will provide the run here. He'll jam it on the boot quickly. Into the pocket it comes towards Howe. Big lot of pressure on Howe, but he stood his ground particularly well and gathered the chest mark in. I think he thought about passing the ball off pretty quickly, but he'd be well advised, I think, to go back and have the set shot for goal. Now he's on about well, it's a very severe angle, in fact, as he gets pushed around towards the boundary line, and this will test him out. Fairly close in. Simon Howe, one of the success stories of the major round, and very prominent in the early moments of the grand final. Just accuracy, the thing in question here from Howe. He's got a pretty long kick, so he'll make the distance without any problems, and the accuracy is good too. And they go on now for their 3rd goal. Simon Howe particularly well done, and a lovely mark taken down by John Glasson. Leon set it all up.
Certainly did, but also equally as good was the mark to Simon Howe. There's a lot of pressure there from Ben Tracy, but yes, his 2nd goal for Simon Howe, so he's certainly a bit of a concern at the moment, but certainly at this point of time, it's a wonderful opening to this big grand final. 3-1-19, 1-1-7, as Greg Rees about to set play off again in motion at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. It'll be Murray for the Rovers, up against Kruger for the Roos. Not a reasonable bounce, but it's won by Ben Tracy with a big thump. Goes towards Adrian Matura, a big star in the second semi-final. Took a while to get rid of the ball on that occasion, under pressure from the Roo half forwards. It's Dempsey in front there, dives on it. Toddy Harris with a punch out the back. Here comes Tony Venables, can't pick it up. Oh, he's met solidly by Snoopy Burns. That wouldn't have hurt too much, Rex, the little garden gnome. Over towards Learmore with a long handball, goes in towards half forward, intercepted there by the Roo defence. The opportunity again for, here comes Brendan Venables, hard of the ball, a chance for Ben Tracy, long left handball out towards Gardry. Gardry under pressure from Eleftheriadis, but gets it over nicely to Persnos. Persnos looking towards half forward, a chance for Rover, who was sensational last week, can't take the mark. Hutchinson clears the ball out for the Roos. Steadying play from this young player, going to be a player of the future. Oh, borps around Mark Tracy in towards half forward, a chance for John Glasson from behind, can't get it. Ben Tracy palms it down to Gill. Gill towards half forward, Rex, and opportunity here for Mark Tracy. Likewise, I thought played particularly well when on the ball last week.
So Tracy will go further afield now with a long and deliberate kick looking for Modra. He's got 2 opponents there, but Modra did it very well. He read the packet in and he kicks it into the goal post. Well, should have made more of that. And a bit of bad luck there for the Rovers. Modra out position initially, but he read the flight of the ball very well. Didn't give an accurate shot for goal. As the kick out comes towards the half-back flank. A good contest out there with Todd Clark in the thick of it. Here comes Venables. He threw the ball away. Play allowed to go on. Gathered in by Barmera-Monash, and they get a handball clear now towards Howe. He's off and running. He's had 2 bounces, now a 3rd. Brings the ball in up towards the half-forward line. Players set themselves there. Gathered in by Lambert in front position. Not paid the mark. In fact, he was paid the mark And so, as often happens after a long run, the opposition finish up with the football. Here's Lambert now out of defence, looking for Murray. Couldn't gather the mark. Bonner's there in support, paddles the ball through his legs. Murray now with the opportunity, looking for support, gets it from Personos, and Personos up towards the centre field area. Here's Tracy with an opportunity. It's gathered in by DeCole. Free kick though, whistle goes, and a free will go, and it'll go the way of Mark Tracy, just on the defensive side of centre.
Yes, Bruce Eglinton with the big job on Tracy. He goes short in towards half forward. Oh, that's bad matching up there by John Glasson. It's a chance for Dempsey to pump the ball into within 20 metres of goal. Rick Modra an opportunity. Oh, it takes a very, very strong mark under a lot of pressure from Steve Buecker. So Rick Modra, certainly a real focal point over many seasons now for the Rovers. Has struggled this year with injury. Just hit the post a few moments ago. So just about Rex straight in front. An opportunity to put Renmark's second goal on the board. Rick Modra lines up, comes in slowly. Concentration, kicks very accurately. A nice goal to Rick Modra. So he's pretty pumped up, Rex. Very pumped up at the moment. So a handy goal there for the Rovers. 2-2-14 to 3-1-19. And we've played around about 13 minutes into the first quarter.
And I might suggest to Peter Kahn that Rick Modra is looking a real danger up in that goal mouth area, Pete.
No, he's playing very well. Renmark's starting to settle down now. But Simon Howe's playing a terrific game at the moment with 2 goals and a beautiful run just down the wing. I think Lillman will have to watch Howe quite a lot.
Burns there in the midfield area, giving plenty of instruction to his side. He's been through so many campaigns for the Roos, and he's been in the hurly-burly of grand finals too, a real asset to his side, no doubt. As the ball goes down at centre field, doing battle in the ruck there, and it's emerging nicely with the ball, Dempsey. Dempsey's long handball is gathered in on the half-back line by Harris, and a free kick will go the way of Barmera-Monash.
Paid the mark, Rex, I think, was
I paid a mark from a handball. That's pretty good, isn't it? As it comes up high towards half-forward, and it's gathered in by Gartrey. Gartrey now a very dependable half-back for the Renmark Rovers over a long period of time. And he'll go out towards centre wing. Hawley up there from the back, couldn't gather the mark, brings the ball to ground. Dempsey's hands are beautiful to Lellman. Lellman's little half-distance kick should be gathered in by Beach, but he made a bit of a mess of that. Got a bit of attention from behind, play allowed to go on. Here's Fletcher, who's had a few moments in the first quarter of the grand final, looking for Glasson at half-forward, straight through that player's hands, gathered in nicely by the Rovers as they come in towards centre field. A succession of handballs, and it finishes up with Dempsey's half-distance kick looking for Handley, can't gather it in. Handley now needs support, gets it from Tracy. Tracy around friend and foe alike, and with a very powerful kick towards the goalmouth area looking for Modra. Had the ball fisted away from him that time. The Churro ran past the footy, which wasn't good, but he got good support there from Eglinton, and it comes up towards the half-back flank and will be cleared by the Roos.
Burns towards centre wing, an opportunity here for Simon Howe again. Certainly very, very busy early here for Barmera-Monash. Simon Howe in towards the 15-metre zone. He's looking for Price. Price takes the mark. Too far out from goal, but goes in with a short pass, looking for either Tyrrell. No, it's intercepted nicely by Lambert. Lambert off to a good start today. Good hands to Personos. On the left foot, comes to the grandstand side. He's got Lellman all on his own. He can take a couple of bounces here. Lellman on his second bounce. Being in hot pursuit there is Ben Fletcher. Lellman in towards the full 40 area, and Tony Venables on a nice lead, and that's virtually impossible to stop, and a very good build-up from the back line here, from the back pocket through Personos and Lellman. They found Tony Venables some 35 metres out from goal.
Switched into attack in the latter part of the season, Leon, and he's made a real success of that position.
Yeah, certainly throughout the season, Rex, he's filled some gaps, but the kick on the left foot is not good, and it drifts away to the left. So just to behind there to Tony Venables. So Renmark moved on to 2-3-15 to 3-1-19. So 4 points in it, 16 minutes gone into the first quarter. Buecker about to kick out, Rex.
And his long and powerful disposal reaches half back where Machuro's the target. Got a bit of attention from behind. Play allowed to go on. It's gathered in nicely by the Rovers. And they get a free kick as Dempsey tries to tick off with a footy, but the free must go back, and I think it's O'Shepper. And he's too far out to score, but he'll look for support right up in the teeth of goal. And he's got some good, strong marking forwards there to kick to, so he can approach this with a fair bit of confidence. Also come on a lot this year, this player.
Former basketballer, Rex, played a lot of basketball one stage.
And the kick's not bad, right up there to the big boys as Modra goes up, and I think he's been paid a mark. Very powerful, and he plays on smartly and kicks a goal. Well, there's a little touch of arrogance there from Rick Modra. He didn't bother about going back. He just jammed it on the boot and converted. So that's their third goal, Renmark. 3-3 now. They go ahead to 3-1, and we've reached the 18-minute mark of the first quarter of the grand final.
It's Rick Modra at the moment. Rex looking like could be a handful there for Steve Buecker today, the veteran of over 300 games for Barmera-Monash.
Well, when he gets on fire early, he's very hard to contain, and they have got a problem there if they can't get on top of him.
Oops, just got Kasolki out in time. It's Price into the ruck now, but palms it straight to Personos. Personos with a big left footer towards half-forward. Jason Rover in front. A nice spoil there by Hutchinson again. It's gathered in by the brilliant Fletcher, who's had a very, very important opening to this game. Not a very good kick, though. It's given an opportunity. It's a Price to an opportunity. He can still do it. A long hand out wide, looking for Simon Howe, who's been very, very busy. Venables in pursuit. That's Brendan Venables. He's too quick for him. He takes a bounce on the left foot. Kicks it into it. He's kicked it out of bounds, and good pressure on that occasion by the Renmark winger in Craig O'Shepper. O'Shepper from half-back and clear for the Rovers with a good oh no, not a good pass. Simon Howe played on. Yes, he did. He played on, said the umpire. Took the good mark, intercepted. Bonner tackles, also Dempsey in there. So a bit of a let-up there for Barmera. He could have quite easily been pinned for holding the ball. Toddy Clark with the football. Greg Reeks at the 50-metre mark. A chance here for Ben Tracy. Knocks it out. A chance of Venables. It's gathered in by Matura. He's a pretty quick player, this guy. Dempsey in pursuit, well played by Burns, intercepted, and the ball goes over the line out of bounds. O'Shepper and Burns have a small discussion, Rex.
Well, it's been played in pretty good spirit so far, and we expected perhaps a bit of fireworks in the early part, but it's been pure football as the rucks go to it. It's tapped down towards Tyrrell. He couldn't do much with it. Got support from Maturo, who's had a busy opening term, up towards the forward pocket area. Ball fisted away there by the Renmark defenders. Here's Gartrey emerging, but he ran out of room, and a boundary throw-in will occur inside 50, deep in Barmera-Monash territory.
He might have been trouble, Rex, if he'd done that at the MCG last night.
Robert Price opposed to Murray. It goes over the top of the ruckman and it's gathered in from behind by Glasson, who has been fumbling a little bit, and it's let him down. Here's Lambert emerging, but left Theriatis, who hasn't been in the play all that much yet, gathers the footy in. No, can't get the bounce to set. Through comes Gill, very well indeed. Gathered in now by Hutchinson. He's under a bit of pressure. He tackles very high. Play allowed to go on, which is a pretty tough call. Here it is for Renmark now. Hanley, lovely pass in towards Murch. And Barmera-Monash, I think, can consider themselves a bit unlucky there, as Murch now kicking the ball in very quickly to the forward pocket, and Modra's the target. Modra's got the mark. Inside 50, angle 45 degrees. And he's on fire. Plenty of confidence. The lead was on, and Murch didn't let him down. Now we'll just have to watch Modra's reaction. You don't even have to watch where the football goes. You can always tell whether he's kicked the goal or not. As he sends it on its way, and he's happy. He punches the air. Very good play by the Rovers, and Murch gets all the accolades, and so he should. His quick presence of mind has put Modra in the picture as we go down to the boundary with Peter and Darren in amongst the big crowd there in front of the grandstand.
Well, John Personos at the moment is playing very good football from the back line. Initially, he was being picked up by Johnny Glasson. He was too quick for him, and now Lambert and Glasson together. And I think Renmark is settled down right, and they'll have to watch themselves, Barmera here.
So an important part of the game, 4-3 to 3 goals won with the Rovers in control at the 20-minute mark. The tap is won by Price, and Barmera-Monash with possession going to attack.
Price comes in towards the full forward area. It's Kasolki on the lead, and about 25 minutes that takes the mark. So it all started there from Robert Price. A good palm down, Glasson involved, Kasolki on that direct lead. So it's certainly perfect conditions today for football. Jason Kasolki, certainly been one of their good youngster that comes through in recent years.
Kicked very poorly in the second semi, Leon.
Yes.
I think he'll be hoping to straighten that leg up today.
But a very important player to Barmera-Monash, Kasolki. Only 20 metres out, 25 metres out, virtually in front. On the left foot, he comes in and kicks, and it looks okay from here, Rex. Goal umpire looks right over the post, but I'm sure it's... yes, he has. He's kicked the goal, and the Roos are back into it. So, Jason Kasolki, a very, very important goal here for Barmera-Monash. Just when Renmark appeared to be just gaining a bit of an edge, but certainly so far a very, very keen contest. Mick Beach with a big job on Robert Hanley today. Jason Kasolki likewise are on the ball and then goes to full forward.
Well, Leon, in the modern game they attach a lot of importance to the centre bounce clearances, don't they? And yes. Barmera-Monash got that one out, and that's the secret of it. If you can win the ball out of that midfield area and get the backman caught out of position, and football is just so much easier. So there's nothing in this game, just 2 points at the present time. 27 plays 25 as the rucks go to it. It's won by Murray. De Cole, quick hands to Murch, who's had a pretty good quarter. Lelman trapped it beautifully, jams it on the left boot. Will it tumble to a teammate? No. No, the ball into space. That'll give the Barmera backline the opportunity as the ball eluded Beach, unfortunately, for that player. Here's a chance for Eglinton. Oh, he paddles it. That's dangerous. Chance for Buecker. He can't gather it in either. He drags it under. What will the umpire do? He calls play on. And as the players stack up around the ball, umpire Richie Roberts has no alternative but to ball it up. The move of DeCole is interesting. He appears to start outside of the square a lot of times, Leon, and often finds himself in the thick of it at the bounce. He's a very good young player. As the Rucks go to it, it's won by Barmera-Monash. Here's a chance now for them to go clear. Nobody can gather it in with a clean possession, though. A high tackle on Harris, and he'll clear for the Roos.
One would suspect that Harris has got the job on Dempsey. He goes short for Toddy Clark. Clark inside 50 here, an opportunity on his left foot. Runs through half-back now, an opportunity to go towards the centre of the ground. Big Black, it'll be a chance for Gartrey. Oh, he could have been given a free kick away on that occasion, but it was young Brad Pittaway who'd been busy early. Lelman over the ball, and Reeks comes in and says no. He made every attempt to get rid of that. A good tackle there by Todd Clark. So it's between centre and half-forward for the Rovers. Opportunity here. It'll be Price. Up against Tracy, it's Mark Tracy, tries to kick the ball out of the air. Price gets his foot to it, but it's well smothered. Hanley picks it up with his left foot in towards the full forward area, obviously looking for Rick Modra. Oh, a bad bounce again. He's waiting in the goal square, but no, it's Toddy Harris to clear out of defence. Gets it over to Beach, he's in trouble, he's tackled. Back to Todd Harris on the 1-2. He takes a bounce and comes through the 50-metre line towards the wing. It's a bad kick and Lelman nearly took the mark. Tracy's in there, Price gets a quick kick out and goes over the line and out of bounds. Centre wing, grandstand side. So the Roo defence under a lot of pressure at the moment. Rucks will do battle here again. It'll be Price for Barmera-Monash. He's yes, the free kick goes to Price as Mark Tracy manhandled him. So Price to have a free kick. Started pretty well, Price. Comes in towards the half-forward flank, Ben Fletcher. Fletcher plays on, gets around a couple of Renmark opponents. Pumps in towards half-forward, looking for John Glasson. He's got to play big ones today for the Roos, and he's very strong and would pay the free kick. Yeah, two Renmark players in Murray and Tracy Rex.
Manhandled.
Yes. Very important player. John Glasson, of course, has missed a reasonable part of the season, Rex, with that knee injury, and certainly come here with a huge reputation. Played A1 Amateur League, a number of grand finals there, so his experience will certainly be invaluable. Will it test him, Rex? He's about 45 metres out.
On a day like today, Leon, I think hardly a breath of air. Should be able to convert from pretty close in. And John Glasson sends the ball on his way. He got under it a bit. It won't quite make the distance. Bonner up very high. Lambert, a lovely spoil out of that big pack. On towards O'Shepper, and Renmark are clear out of the back lines as they come towards the half-back flank. Gartrey involved in a handball there. Back to O'Shepper. In smartly towards Ben Tracy at centre half-back. He wastes no time. Up towards the midfield area. The ball into a space there. Man held without the footy. Play allowed to go on. Opportunity now for Renmark to come in there, but a very heavy tackle on that player, and a free kick will be awarded to Robert Handley. Handley wastes no time in towards Murch, who's been very active in this first quarter, hasn't strayed far from the half-forward line, but a good target there.
He started well last week too, Rex. He certainly got Renmark fired up in that opening 15 minutes last week.
We're into time on. He goes in short. The big ride is on from Modra from behind. Play allowed to go on. It's gathered in now by Buecker of Barmera-Monash. Here's Venables coming through very solidly, and he ran into a brick wall there in Harris, and the players stack up on the ball, and the umpire says, "I'll ball it up." 4-3-27 to 4-1-25. And in the time-on period of the first quarter, the game locked up here in the grand final, the opening term of the 1995 grand final. It's gathered in now by the Rovers. They get the ball smothered. Big pack of players. Renmark emerged with the football again. The ball jammed onto the boot, and did it score? We'll wait on it. Out on the full, and the relieving kick taken now by the Barmera defenders. 4-3 to 4-1. Played a minute and a half of time on.
Great tackle there by Adrian Matura. It'll be Burns, former Barmera skipper, to bring them out of defence. Burns goes to the outer side, to the scoreboard side of the ground. Tyrrell must be on the ball now, but a good mark there to Price. Recruited from the Demons this year. Back home again to Barmera-Monash. Price goes towards the centre wing position, looking for there's Robbie Bonner in front, takes the mark, and will clear for Renmark. Bonner's kick is not a good one. It's a scrubby one towards half forward. A chance now for Renmark. Brendan Venables gets the ball back to Persnos. Left foot pass, looking for Rick Modra here, but it's out in the open. Rick Modra's still back in the goal score, I'm afraid. It's Lelman. Dale Lelman towards the full forward right pocket. Here they are looking for Modra now. It's a nice looking kick from Lelman, but he's just off target to the left side of the big stick, reckon. Another point to the Rovers. So it's 4-4-28 to 4-1-25. A 3-point break here to Renmark. A very keen opening to this game. Todd Harris to kick it out. Kicks the ball to himself. Murch comes to meet him. He pumps the ball towards the grandstand side, half-back flank, 50 metres out. Gartrey from the back of the pack has taken a very, very good mark. Twitter Gartrey. Gartrey goes in short towards half forward. A chance here for Gill. Gill can pump the ball right in towards the teeth of goal. The big man will fly here. Modra shoot his strength. Oh, beautiful bit of body work by Rick Modra. Takes the mark about 4 or 5 metres out, Rex, and he really is creating Steve Buecker a few problems.
Well, that little shove just as the ball arrived is very clever football, and very close in. Modra should convert from there, and they should go in at quarter time with something of a lead here now, Renmark. They've played very well as he shoots for goal, and through it goes for Modra's 4th goal in the opening term of the grand final. 5 goals, 4 now to 4-1, and that's a very promising start by the Renmark full forward. And I mentioned before, Leon, when he is confident, he's a very hard man to beat.
Certainly is, Rex. 4 goals, and he also hit the post that left foot snap, so he could have had 5 goals. So it's a very, very positive start here to Rick Modra. That'll give Renmark a lot of confidence too to have a player up forward. And also, Rex, it releases someone like Mark Tracy, who I think plays probably better around the ground.
Ball back at centre field. Craig Lambert in the full back position for Renmark has played a very good opening term, and it's not a bad spot for a player that may be a little suspect with injury. And he was instrumental in firing that big spoil out of that goal square pack a few moments ago to get Renmark into attack. Now here it comes towards the half-forward line for the Roos. Nobody can gather the ball in except Gill. His handball is sweet to Venables. On nicely to Tracy, who jammed the ball on the boot, which was a bit careless because that let Eleftheriadis in. And he'll go in short now towards the lead of Kasolki. He couldn't gather the mark. I think he has been paid the mark. Venables not happy, but just from here I thought he kept it above the ground. And Kasolki now will shoot for goal from about 25 to 30 metres, and this will get Renmark and Barmera-Monash pretty well locked together as the quarter ends rapidly.
So I would probably have a little wager with it. I think the ball may have bounced out, but
well, Venables wasn't too happy.
No, he wasn't.
Kasolki taking plenty of time, getting a bit of advice from Greg Dempsey, perhaps on how to kick straight. Do you think?
It could well be, Rex.
And Kasolki fires on the southern goal, and I think he's made it. Let's have a look at it. No, just to the right of the post. So that was a bad miss by Kasolki. 5-4 now Renmark. Barmera-Monash 4 goals 2.
Yes, certainly is, Rex, and he's a guy that's so important to Barmera-Monash. Jason Kasolki. On a day like today, you should really not miss those from 35 metres. Bonner will kick out for the Rovers. He goes short to Ben Tracy on the lead, and he's been very prominent early, Rex, across half-back. Nice hands across back to Bonner on the 1-2. Bonner through 50, goes towards the outer side wing. Bit of pushing and shoving out here. Eglinton from the back, try to punch away. Toddy Harris gets in the road, gets bowled over. An opportunity out to Dempsey. Dempsey misses it. Picks it up now on his left foot. He pumps it in towards the half-forward line. Opportunity there. Rick Modra can't get it. Matura, handballs to no one in particular. Beast looks like he could be playing loose man defence, gets it out towards Buecker. He's under pressure. Buecker follows the ball, eyes for the football only. Comes in towards Hanley's met by Buecker. A chance for the Roos to get out of the defence through Matura. Matura into the towards the centre of the ground. Eleftheriadis, who he's off. He plays off Eleftheriadis. Prominent in the last couple of moments. Gets it over to Tyrrell. Gets it over the top to Price. Price from about 50 can pump the ball in. A terrible kick from Price on a day like today. Kasolki gathers it in very well. On his left foot, he snaps it back. An opportunity here still for Barmera-Monash. Up goes Kruger. Couldn't take the mark. A chance for Eglinton. I mean, it's a Brad Pittaway tackled high. Gill to clear the football out for the Rovers. In towards half-back line for Renmark. There's desperation stuff here. Dempsey's been met solidly here. Gartrey comes in, and there'll be a ball up. Well, just outside the 50-metre mark, Rex, for Barmera-Monash.
34 to 26, late in the first quarter of the grand final. The tap is won by Price as the siren goes to end the first term. And the quarter-time score, Renmark 5-4-34. Barmera-Monash 4-2-26, as we get a few comments now from Peter Kahn, and Darren Hoytson wrote it down on the boundary.
Okay, it's been a very good start to the grand final, with Barmera initially having the advantage, but Renmark came home strong, and then Barmera have been able to reply as Renmark started to get the advantage. Damn good game of football.
Rex, I've been very impressed with Rick Modra up forward. I think Tony Fisher might have to make a change there.
So the back line under a bit of pressure as we take a break at quarter time in the grand final. Umpire Reeks gets the permission of the captains to start the second quarter now in the grand final. At quarter time, Renmark 5-4-34 lead Barmera-Monash 4-2-26 as Price goes in the ruck against Mark Murray. The clash of the Giants, and Price and Murray have both had their moments in the first term. The ball brought down by Murray to Maturo, though, who did it well. Puts Barmera-Monash into attack, looking for Tyrrell up there. He couldn't complete the mark. The ball to ground. Plenty of players around the football as they come into attack. Here's left Theriatis into the teeth of goal. And did it avoid the clutching hands of the defence down there? It did, and Lefty gets the first goal of the term. A very good opening, and Leon, I think by his high standard of the second semi-final, he really hasn't been in the play all that much, but it was a very promising move.
But yes, promising, Rex. The fact that the last probably 5 minutes of that first quarter, he picked up a few possessions, and as you mentioned, he was magnificent in the second semi-final. But yes, a very important cog across half forward. He'll certainly give the Rovers something to think about there.
So Maturo with an important touch. And he's another player that Barmera-Monash want to light in this grand final because his form's been pretty good. Here goes Price with Murray, and Price wins the tap. Personos wins the ball to Murray. Murray was scragged, and he's holding it. Umpire Reeks there said he didn't make enough of that. Here's Maturo now on the defensive side of the circle, putting the Roos into attack towards the half-forward line, looking for Kruger and company up there. Bonner's got possession. He'll emerge with the football now out of the half-back line. A heavy clash behind play. It's gathered in now by DeCole of Renmark. Oh, nicely measured the pass off well to Lellman. Lellman's off and running. He'll look for support up the ground, Lellman. He draws the opposition well. Here comes Modra from the side. Glasson stood his ground pretty well. The ball brought to ground by Modra was pretty good football. Rover does it well to Tracy. A snapshot for goal should be accepted by Eglinton. He brings the ball under him, and umpire Reeks in close attendance will have a ball up deep in the Barmera-Monash territory. 5-4 to 5-2 at the early moments now of the second quarter.
Rex, has there been a move made? Glasson onto Modra. One wonders. Beach is still back there. Punches the ball over, and it's rushed behind to Renmark.
Well, they obviously would be pretty concerned about Modra.
I'm just trying to pick up Buecker where Steve Buecker's gone, Rex, but I would suggest that possibly Glasson may have gone to full back. Toddy Harris to kick out for the Roos. Comes to Chad Hawley. Haven't mentioned his name a lot yet so far, Rex, but Hawley around Hanley he goes. In towards centre wing looking for Toddy Clark. Clark misses what he probably should have taken. Dempsey in hot pursuit. Tackles him, didn't have the football. Play on, says the umpire. Toddy Clark, good tackle by Dempsey. Mature with a nice hands, little left handball. He still gathers it in. Well run up by Mashura. He's a very quick player. Pumps it in towards half forward. Lambert an opportunity. Tyrrell also there. Lambert has played particularly well today despite his injury. Craig Lambert. Good mark over Tyrrell. Comes through half back. Craig Lambert towards the centre of the ground. Not a good kick. Very, very poor disposal there. The mark is taken there by Ben Fletcher. Fletcher plays on immediately. Bad kick. It's smothered there by Lellman. Well played. Tracy can't pick it up. Hanley does. Drops it. Picks it up again. Hanley onto the left foot. Pumps it in towards half forward. Here's a chance for Tony Venables. Beach with him. Well played by Michael Beach. He gets the ball. One hand to it. Knocks it out. Well done, Mickey Beach. Age shall not worry with him. He's continuing on. A terrific performance by Beach. Oh, could have been a free kick there to Gary Mertz. Hit play on. Todd Clark gets the ball on. Price with an opportunity. Price will go onto his left foot. On his right foot rather. Kicks in towards half forward. Venables meets the ball subtly and punches it over the line and out of bounds at the 15-metre mark for the Roos. Well, that was a pretty heavy clash by Mick Beach, Rex.
Boundary throw in there on the half-forward line. You called it right. Glasson is at full back as the rucks go to it. It's tapped out by Price, who's having some influence now on the ball. Here's Tyrrell. Play allowed to go on as Venables comes out of defence now looking for Rover. Great fist by Hutchinson, who's made a good strong start in the grand final opposed to Rover. A lot of heavy work going on close in. Lellman now with the opportunity. Avoids one. He can't get clear with the football though. They pounce on him. Ball to ground, and umpire Roberts has no alternative but to ball it up in the early moments of the second quarter. 5-5 to 5-2, and is that a good move, Peter Khan? Glasson to full back.
Well, yeah, so I think it's a good move at the moment, but we'll see what happens because Rick likes a challenge. Red Buecker's gone to full forward for Barmera, and Mick Beach seems to be handling Robert Hanley at the moment, only when he goes into the forward line. When he goes on the ball, Beachy's going on to someone else.
Here's Venables now with a chance to fire on goal. He's got Modra on his own. He touched it, and I think Rick was a little bit pushed up there. He didn't quite know whether it was in line with the goal, but it went through for a behind. And I don't know whether he could have completed the mark, Leon, but I thought I think he thinks that it was heading for the right direction. So 5-6 plays 5-2. We've played almost 5 minutes of the second quarter of the grand final.
In actual fact, Rex, was very unselfish, wasn't it? He could have quite easily marked that, but probably should have.
Well, you'd feel a bit of a dill, I suppose, if you touched it and it was going straight, but He chose wisely. Here's the kick in now to be taken by Todd Harris from fullback. Harris goes short to the back pocket to Burns. Burns now trying to get it out of the danger zone. Nicely to Fletcher. Had a great start to the grand final, Fletcher. Up towards the centre wing area looking for Glasson. He's got him. And Barmera work it out with a bit of method here. Up towards the half-forward line now. The players set themselves out in front of the time clock, but in front, Craig Lambert playing a burster. Gets it on smartly now to a teammate there in... Couldn't quite pick him up. Opportunity now for Tyrrell. Oh, he's met solidly by Handley and Personos. Clark through solidly, jams it on the boot. Up and towards the forward area it comes. Ben Tracy leads Buackett in the chase to the ball, but it beats both players out of bounds, and it will be thrown in not far around from the goal mouth. 5-6 to 5 goals 2. And the rucks go to it. Kruger in the ruck now, brings it to ground well. Buecker in with a bit of strong body work. Big pack of players around the ball. Opportunity for Ben Tracy on towards Handley. Handley jams it onto the boot and kicks it to touch. And it will be thrown in now about 40 metres around from the behind post. We've played 6 minutes in the second quarter. 5 goals, 6-36 Renmark. Barmera-Monash 5-2-32.
It appears that Handley may be ruck roving with Gary Merchant changing at centre half forward. A chance for Simon Howe here. Gets the handball out wide, too high for Price. Price an opportunity to redeem himself here. Pumps it in towards centre half forward, looking for Toddy Clark. Clark can't reach it. It's Bonner in hot pursuit. Well played by Bonner. Good tackle by Clark. It's Ben Tracy an opportunity. Pumps it in front of him. Chance for Tracy again. Buecker in hot pursuit. Still Tracy and Buecker. They fight it out at half forward. Well played by Buecker, and that could be holding the man, says the umpire. So Ben Tracy will take the free kick at the 50-metre mark. On the left foot, goes in towards the centre of the ground. There's a very ordinary kick indeed, as Ben Fletcher takes the mark unopposed. Fletcher goes across the ground. They certainly throw the ball around these Roos. Opportunity here for Matura. He's under pressure. Met well by Gartrey. Knocked on by Matura. Lillman in pursuit here of Brad Pittaway. Pittaway kick's not good under pressure. Persnos backs off. Lets Venables come through. That's Brenton Venables. Handballs to no one in particular. Eleftherianis should have grabbed Handley. Handley away with one bounce. Left foot pass by Handley into the centre half forward position, looking for Murch, and has taken the mark in front of Mick Beach. Gary Murch to play on for the Rovers, looking for Tony Venables. Hot pursuit here is Bruce Eglinton. Can't take it. Venables very, very strong by Tony Venables. In towards full forward. Glasson takes the mark. Plays on with the handball. Puts pressure on here from the Burns. Venables strong and solid. Free kick has been paid to Tony Venables. Linton Burns tackled him too high, Rex. So an opportunity here for Tony Venables. He's kicked 2 behind so far, and certainly proving to be a bit of a tough man up the forward line for Barmera-Monash to handle at this stage. So Tony Venables will kick from around 35 metres. Comes in just one step, and it's a nice looking kick in towards the goals. But quite might make it. Rick Modrony took the big mark, but it's a run's rushed through for a behind. So it's a 5-7-37 to 5-2-32. We've played 8.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Harris will bring the ball back into play. He chooses the short option. In fact, kicks to himself, and he goes with one bounce now out towards the half-back flank. And the kicking has been a little indirect, and it's picked up by Renmark, and it was a too high tackle there on Murch, and he'll shoot for goal now from inside 50, the angle 45 degrees or worse. Don't quite know whether Murchie's got the strength in his leg to get this one, but it's certainly within range. The windsock indicating that there's no real advantage to either end at the moment with breeze. So Murch now gets under the ball a bit. Glasser stood his ground to prevent Modra getting the run in. Modra battling hard for the ball at the base of the pack, and they concede it behind. No, the umpire not satisfied. Took too long to get the ball out of the pack, and he'll have a ball up now just outside the goal mouth area. 5-7 plays 5-2 as we look across this wonderful site here at Loxton. A lot of people watching the grand final, and all the camera action being picked up by the boys up on the top of the grandstand, courtesy of Dyer's Transport. The ball fisted through to the Renmark players, and Dempsey, I think, has got a goal. Well, only special people can kick goals like that in a huge crush of players. He jams it on the boot to bring up the 6th goal for Renmark. 6 goals, 7 now to 5 goals, 2 at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter of the grand final. And what do you think about Dempsey, Peter Kahn?
He's a very good player. He's been quick hands, and actually just one thing we should keep watching on is Rick looks a bit sore down there. He's sort of watching his knee, and might make it easier for Glasson.
So an important goal there to the Rovers as the ball goes back to centre field. Price wins the tap, a very strong and powerful one. Personos, though, he's having some influence in that midfield area. Gets another ball up towards centre half forward, looking for Handley, who had a bit of the sun there, couldn't complete the mark. Hawley now gets it out of into the clear. The players run hard at the ball. Here's O'Shepper leading Clark, who's been fairly quiet by his high standards. Clark now in towards teammate there in Harris, getting support from Pittaway. Opportunity for Harris to get it on the boot. Gets the call from Leftheriadis. Couldn't take the mark though, Lefty, and the ball getting very close to the boundary line, and out it goes on the half forward line, and a whistle on play. I'll see a free kick go the way of Greg Dempsey for Renmark. He'll come up towards centre wing. Murray gave the lead, went past that player. Howe in possession now, breaks the tackle well, will need to bounce the ball and does. Handley in hot pursuit. How can he gather it in? Personos in close attendance, does it beautifully. Personos gets the call from Lillman. Here's a danger now for Barmera-Monash as Handley kicks for goal, and can he kick it straight? He has indeed. They get another goal, and Handley coming into the picture now. 7-7-49 to 5 goals 2. Which is 32 at the 12-minute mark of the second turn.
Yes, a good turnover there to Renmark. Good pressure from Robert Handley. That's the difference, Rex, in a big final. Just keep the pressure on the play going for the ball. So, and it was well backed up then on occasion by Personos. So the Rovers, a bit of a break here now. Pretty important 10 minutes coming up for the Roos. Bounce in the centre again. Kruger against Rover, but it'll be Kruger will win the tap towards Renmark. So I don't know what the idea was there, but Murch gets it across nicely to Lillman. Lillman from the 15-metre zone will get right into the 10-metre square. Tony Venables, Glasson in front. Has he been paid? He's sure. No, it's play on, says the umpire. Rick Modra, an opportunity over his shoulder. He may have kicked another one. I think he has. Terrific snap from the big man. Great play by Rick Modra. He's kicked his 5th goal. So, but Rex, I thought Glasson had a fair bit of that cherry on that occasion, but I guess Venables also had a bite of the cherry, but Rick Modra did the robe on that occasion. So great snap for Renmark, and they take a bit of a break here. It's 8-7 to 5 goals 2. So quite a break here to Renmark.
Well, you really do have to admire the big fella to have the balance and the poise to get that ball through under very difficult circumstances. He brings up his 5th goal, and a real wonderful effort there by the Renmark full forward. As the rucks go to it at centre field, it's won by Kruger, taken out of the air in fact, but Renmark are working it out of that midfield area and getting the rewards too as they come up towards half forward. Venables, Tracy in solidly to the body, and the ball beating all players out of bounds, and it will be thrown in at half forward just in Renmark territory. In the ruck, Kruger and Mark Tracy, who made front position, got a bit of attention, but it's gathered in by Clark from behind to Harris, who's had a wonderful game. Lovely pass to Price, and Price doing well in the grand final. He goes on smartly, the lead's on, and over the top of everyone's head there, it was almost a mark to Kosaki, but he couldn't complete it. Here's a chance for Lambert. Lambert gets it onto Personos, who's had a brilliant term, out wide towards Bonner. Ominous signs here for Barmera. They need to regroup. Bonner now looks for support up the ground. Tidy disposal towards Rover. He got his man under the ball very well. Here's Lillman. Oh, lovely work from Lillman as he read the play beautifully. 3 bounces, comes in towards 50, goes long towards the square. John Glasson made position well. They came at him. He stood his ground and he concedes it behind, and through it goes for a point. Renmark 8-8 now, 56 to Barmera-Monash 5-2, 32.
Toddy Harris has got the job today, kicking out for Barmera-Monash, Rex. Todd Harris brings the ball back into play. Goes virtually straight down the centre of the ground. It's a lovely looking kick. It's gone 55 metres and taken by Toddy Clark. Clark just out of, into the centre square. Plays on immediately. Onto the left he goes. Swing the play to the grandstand side. A chance here for Price. Looks like Matthew is on. Price right over the top. A chance here for Barmera-Monash. They need a goal badly. It's Burns in pursuit here. Matura supports. Shepherd tries to put on the tackle, but Matura too quick. Gill in pursuit. Good tackle by Gill. Well played by young Aaron Gill. Good pressure. And the ball will be thrown back in, but terrific play by young Aaron Gill on that occasion. Rex, is there a free kick? There's been a free kick. Gee, I thought it wasn't a bad tackle. Unless Matura actually had a handball, I thought it was a very good tackle by young Gill. But Matura now an opportunity from the 50-metre line. Virtually impossible angle to score a goal. You'll want to put it in into the 10-metre square. Give a chance there to Tyrrell, or the other option, of course, Kasolki, Bueka. Pumps in with the left foot in towards the 10 metres. It's a nice little kick too, in towards the full 40 area. Gartrey goes for the best option there on that occasion and goes through for a behind. So it's 5-3-33 to 8-8-56. We've played nearly 15 minutes into the second term, and the Roos need a goal.
Personos roaming far and wide, kicks the ball to himself, brings it into play to the half-back flank on the outer side. The runner's on there, close to the boundary line to Cole. He gets around friend and foe alike, up towards the centre wing area, looking for Dempsey. Dempsey starting to get some important possessions. The half-distance kick is picked up nicely by Murray. Back with a handball to Handley. In come Renmark now as they get closer to goal. Handley's big kick to the square, looking for Modra, who stands his ground very, very well. And the big fellow has got a very nice mark. And would you believe he has kicked it off the back of the foot for a goal. Now that is arrogance if you've ever seen it, but that's what you can do when you're playing well. And that was a beautiful bit of football by Renmark as they come in and get the 9th goal on the board. 9-8 now to 5 goals 3, and Modra brings up his 6th goal at the 16th minute mark of the second quarter.
Yes, a real problem here, Rex, at the moment for the Roos.
Ever seen anything like that before, Peter Kahn?
No, it's just like that soccer goal kick the other day.
Wasn't that a sensation?
What do you do with a big boy when he's on fire? He's very hard to beat, Pete.
Just make sure the ball doesn't get down there. That's the only way.
Here comes Barmera-Monash now into attack again through Burns. The little kick into space, gathered in by Renmark just for a moment, and a free kick will be paid, and they should clear out of the back lines. Ben Tracy.
The defender there was Scott Matthew, and looks like there could be a 50-metre, Rex. Or 25 metre, isn't it? That's right, 25 metre. Ben Tracy to take the recipient of the free kick from halfback. Goes out towards the wing looking for brother Mark. Can't take the mark. Well spoiled on this occasion by Hawley. Goes towards the boundary line. Tracy still in pursuit here. Keeps it in play. Now it's gone over the line and out of bounds, out of side centre wing. Well, as you mentioned before, Rex, the Roos are going to have to regather their thoughts here. Quite a break. Now 5 goals. Ball thrown in. Opportunity there for Murray. Palms it down towards DeCole. DeCole, well picked up by DeCole. Gets that handball out the back towards Personos. Chance for... great mark by Gary Murch. Terrific mark. Gary Murch plays on immediately, looking for Rick Modra, and why not at the moment? Chance here for Glasson. Pushes Rick Modra out of the play. Chance for Toddy Harris. He's played a wonderful game in defence for the Roos. Goes to the outer side, looking for Chad Hawley. Hawley with an opportunity, takes a good mark in front of the windsock, Rex, which is absolutely limp. Chad Hawley towards... Fletcher. Fletcher can't take the mark. He's spilled there by Rover. Opportunity now for Toddy Harris again. Another possession to Chad Hawley. Hawley goes out towards the wing position here, and his mark has been taken here by Brad Pittaway. Brad Pittaway from centre wing, or just forward of centre wing. Pumps it in towards the scoreboard area. Chance here for young Aaron Gill at the back. A chance for Burns. Burns can't pick it up. Gill at the back of the pack. And the ball is run over the line out of bounds as Tyrrell and Personos also in pursuit. So scoreboard reads 9-8-62 to 5-3-33 at the 70-minute mark of the first quarter.
So the Rovers really on fire, and Barmera need to find something here or the game will slip away from them. More quick hands by Lambert on that occasion. Out it comes towards the run of Handley, who's had some great touches this term. Looking for Venables. Good disciplined play there by Eglinton, but swooping on it nicely is Dempsey. He gets it on to Modra, who will kick another goal. And he's on fire, the big fellow. And he brings up a personal tally now of 7. And that's a sensational performance by Rick Modra, but good play, Greg Dempsey, and he's really had some very important touches in this term.
Certainly has, Rex, and it's also had to fall together now for Renmark. Robert Handley also, we mentioned all year that there's such important players to the Renmark side, and of course Rick Modra hasn't played much of the second part of the season due to that knee injury, but today, before half-time, if you kick 7 goals, Rex, you could just about say you're a match winner, aren't you?
Well, it's a mystery. He's supposed to have fallen out with club administrators and coaches and wasn't coming to training. Perhaps they were all furfies.
Yeah, they may have been. So a big break here now, Rex.
So there's the blood rule coming off. For Barmera-Monash is Hawley.
Chad Hawley, yes.
And we'll get Peter perhaps to make a comment as Paul Mitchell gets his first run for the afternoon. It is in fact Hawley, Pete.
Yes, young Mitchell's coming on for Chad. He's just got a little slight bloody nose. But interesting, Dale Lellman's playing a fantastic game, getting a lot of room, and he's taking Simon Howe, who started off very well, has been struggling to keep up with him.
10-8, 68 to 5-3-33 as we approach 20 in the second quarter of the grand final. The interchange has been completed, so Kruger goes in the ruck against Murray. But Kruger takes it out of the air, gets it to Clark. He's one of the players that needs to lift now. Clark gets it on to Howe. Howe near the crest at centre wing. Kicks the ball in towards the forward lines. It won't find the intended mark as Lambert paddles the ball close to the boundary line and does it pretty well and concedes possession there, but it was clever football by the Renmark defender.
He's played pretty well today, Rex, Lambert, hasn't he?
Yes, he certainly doesn't seem to be favouring the leg like last Saturday afternoon, and the coach of Renmark suggested he got a knock on it early, and that may well have been the case, but today doing it very well as the ball comes up towards Handley. And Handley steadies the play down now, gets a few options given to him, goes in short towards Bonner. Bonner to Handley. The handball was wide of the mark, which was poor football. Murray in there to mop up for the Rovers. In towards Murch, who's played a sensational game here in the grand final. And Murch now on the defensive side of centre, looking to come up the ground. He elects to go short to Dempsey, who's unattended at centre field. Quick mind there, thought about the handball, but with Mitchell descending, he chose wisely. Goes in short now to Murray, and they work it up with a bit of method, do Renmark. Play allowed to go on now as O'Shepard comes in towards the 50-metre line. Opportunity for Tracy. Tracy couldn't gather it in as Hutchinson paddles the ball ahead of himself, works it out towards half-back. Mitchell with a possession towards the open space. Renmark fighting very hard for the football, and that's another feature of their game as the Barmera-Monash Roos clear it towards Pittaway at centre-half forward.
Chance for Pittaway, goes for the short pass, looking for Simon Howe, all on his own, will take the mark. He will not play on, no, he'll have a set shot, and he's probably about 35 metres out. Well, the understatement would be this is a very, very important shot here for the Rovers, for the Roos rather. Played just over 20 minutes in this first quarter. 6 goals down, so they'll need a big lift here. Such an important shot from Simon Howe. Certainly be one of the recruits of the year. Simon Howe. Taking about as much time as Paul Salmon, the Essendon star. Simon Howe, looks like it's drifted off to the right-hand side, so an important miss there to Barmera-Monash. Perfect conditions at the moment. It's 5-4-34 to Renmark, 10-8-68. So 6-goal break, just under 6-goal break here to Renmark. Robbie Bonner will kick out. Former Pringa Junior, best first-year player for Pringa some years ago, the Rob Lehman Award. So Bonner would suggest we'll go straight down the ground. Goes short looking for Garter. He's under pressure here from Matthew, but takes a good solid mark there, Chris Garter. A representative of the Riverland Football League early in the season. Very consistent player for Renmark over many seasons. Garter from halfback. The game, Rex, has just come to a bit of a halt in the last few minutes. Dempsey up against Matura. Sport by Matura. Dempsey follows it up. In comes Gill. Rover. He's been tackled well here by Matthew. A chance for Gill again. Knocked out cleverly. He's a bit scrambling now. Matura slips over. Nearly could have got a free kick, but again intercepted by Gill. Gets it across to Murch. Murch gets around 2 or 3 opponents and goes with a short kick towards centre of the ground. Missed here. Bar an opportunity to through young Paul Mitchell. Mitchell back sport, but it's Murch with opportunity. Cops one across the face. He'll play on Gary Murch. From the stand, plays on now. Goes towards 50. An opportunity for Handley unopposed. Missed what he should have taken. The sun could have been in his eyes. Beats. Streams through half-back, gets it across to Eleftheriadis, who want to get across, tackled nicely by Lambert, who pulled up pretty quickly on that occasion, Rex, but pumps the ball in towards full for Brenton Venables, takes the mark unopposed. So they're not going into the forward line with any system. Out to Lelman. Lelman can go with the option to Tracy, but ignores that. Goes towards Handley towards the centre of the ground. Handley steadies up play here, and I don't know, Rex, it's just the momentum of this game has just slowed down the last few minutes.
Renmark have got a very good lead, and I think the crowd expecting that this might turn into a one-horse race. Let's see what Barmera-Monash can do. They gather possession on the half-back line through Harris. He looks for options up the ground. He's got Price standing unattended up there, and he takes the mark in opposition to DeCole. Price on smartly now, out wide towards Fletcher. Fletcher comes inland, which was pretty good thinking because he was tempted to go, I think, long initially, but he chose wisely and found a man there in Mick Beach drifting down at Beach, perhaps a little too far out to score. Should be able to put this ball right up into the goalmouth area. He goes in a little shorter than that. The lead was on from Tyrrell, who flew high, couldn't complete the mark. Here's Fletcher. Fletcher now in a ton of trouble, is well caught there, and a free kick, I think, will go the way of the Renmark defence. DeCole will clear on the outer side. Had a great battle, Fletcher and DeCole. Out wide it goes towards the wing position. The big leap in front, the mark completed out there by John Personos. Personos wastes no time. The Renmark skipper, who coached the successful Thirds premiership team earlier on today, long towards the half-forward line. Opportunity now for the Rovers as O'Shepard gathers. He's within range, O'Shepard. He fires on goal. Venables running hard at the ball, couldn't take the mark, and eventually concedes possession as it goes out over the line. It must be thrown in about 10 metres around from the behind post. 10-8-68 to 5-4-34. We've reached the time on period now of the second quarter as Modric takes it out of the air. Snapshot for goal, just wide of the mark this time, and out of bounds on the full, and the resultant free kick taken by Adrian Maturo.
Been busy Rex so far today, hasn't he, Maturo?
Schutz on the ground, standing the mark. And Maturo, one of the paciest players in the league, gets a long kick out towards the half-back line, almost a mark to Rover. Here's a chance for O'Shepper, who's had a good first half in the grand final, to Schutz. And Schutz takes the mark too, within range. 45-degree angle. He gets the call from Modra, but Schutz will go back and have the shot for goal. Having a look at the situation, the angle fairly severe, but the right leg, he shouldn't have too much problem with this. He's certainly close enough in, and Schutz fires on goal, jabs at it a little bit. The big boys fly in the square. The ball to ground is picked up by Dempsey, and you just can't leave this man alone. Plays the ball beautifully, jams it on the boot, brings up the 11th goal now, 11-8 to 5 goals for. And wonderful play there by Dempsey, who's had a real impact on this second quarter of the grand final.
Rexy certainly has had a wonderful grand final. Probably a bit of a quieter final series. I thought he didn't do a lot last week, and likewise the week before against Barmera, but he's certainly having a huge impact today. 2 terrific snaps. The last one was in the goal square likewise. So he really is creating a few problems for Barmera-Monash, and really Rex at the moment, it's becoming a bit of a worry now, isn't it?
Peter, the space on the scoreboard's getting pretty large.
It is. The Renmark on ballers like Hanley and Dempsey are just cruising at the moment, and Lillman and Persons are just finish things off. And as well, Mark Tracy just come off for Derek Schutz.
Ball won by Price at centre field, gathered in by Personos, who's had a terrific second term, out wide to the space. Harrison close attendance here on Dempsey. What can Dempsey do this time? He traps the ball out near the line, but Harris is smart enough to gather it in. He'll need support. There's 2-on-1 there, gathered in by DeCole. Quick hands towards Rover. Rover will come in with a quick kick forward, but it'll be gathered in by the Barmera-Monash defence and snapped up here by Lyndon Burns. Burns in towards a teammate there in Clark. Clark's got the left turn, which seems to fool everybody most of the time, and he goes long towards the space, and a hefty push there on a Renmark player, Lellman, by Eleftheriadis, and the free kick, in fact, will go to Lellman. Lellman's half-distance kick will be gathered in by Murray. On smartly was Personos. They're running rings around them at the moment, the Rovers. Personos comes in towards centre-half forward, goes to a unattended goal square as they run back on it. It should be gathered in by Renmark. No, rushed across for a behind. And so Renmark record another point. 11-9, 75 to 5 goals, 4-34. We played 2 minutes of time on in the second quarter of the grand final.
Yes, very important now that Barmera don't allow Renmark to get away too far. It'll be Burns to kick the ball back into play for Barmera-Monash. He's going to go short here, looking for young Ben Fletcher. So Fletcher between half-back, full-back, goes with the short part, dangerous kick, but Clark makes good ground in front of Hanley and takes the mark. Todd Clark, just not flying for Barmera at the present time. Clark goes to centre wing, right in front of the grandstand. A chance for Kruger here against Venables. Well played by Eleftheriadis. He'll on beyond his left foot now. No, he takes one dodge. He's going to... a very professional free kick there by Craig Lambert, actually. And Eleftheriadis will take the free kick between wing and half forward. I think he's going to take a gamble there, Rex, and handball over Lambert and run onto it. Eleftheriadis goes short in towards the centre of the ground. A chance here now for young Ben Fletcher. He's tackled well by, I think it was O'Shepper, but it's play on by Pettaway in towards full forward. An opportunity here. I think it looks like Simon Howe has kicked the goal. A good mark played on, and Simon Howe has kicked the goal, Rex. So a much needed goal to the Roos. That may give them a bit of a spark here after we played 2 minutes of time into the second quarter. So 6-4-40 to 11-9-75. So very, very important major there to Simon Howe.
So quite significant that Eleftheriadis had some say in that goal. He's a player that needs to lift. He had a wonderful second semi. Not having quite the same influence at the moment, but he is an explosive player. And I'm sure the Roo bench will be hoping for bigger and better things in the second half. The ruck's to it. Nobody really wins it well, but Renmark come through, merged. Clark intercepts. Can't get clear with the footy. And the umpire says you are pushed in the back, and Todd Clark will take the resultant free. Clark had more possessions in this term. And he'll go out wide. He's got a teammate out there in Burns. Burns in to the unattended Fletcher. Involved in one of the clashes of the day with DeCole. Fletcher, young player, up towards centre half forward. Here's Eleftheriadis, who got his man under the ball very well. Taps on intelligently to Maturo. Here come the Roos in towards the full forward area, but Venables has stood firm this term and taken some important marks down there on the last line of defence, big Brenton Venables. Indicating to his teammates that he wants something to happen up the ground. He goes in short to an unattended player there in DeCole. DeCole drifting down from centre wing. will kick the ball high towards the midfield area. The players set themselves there. Ball fisted away from Rover. He hasn't taken many marks today. They've worked him out a bit, I think, as Personos comes in. A half-distance kick will find Dempsey. Dempsey in the midfield area. Goes off smartly. He's caught this time. Only just got rid of it in time. Here's Personos. Opportunity for Gartry. As Gartry paddles the ball ahead, he's caught. And Lambert gives support. Lambert up the ground now to the lead of Modra, who did it very well. And he trapped it on his chest. You can't do much about that. The kick was good. It tumbled forward. And Modra, with a big chest, has taken the mark within range. Only about 30 metres out, almost directly in front. Not much of the second term left. And Rick Modra, with 7 goals on the board, searches for his 8th. He has a close look at it. He's not all that happy now, he is. You only have to watch Modra, but he tried to fool the goal umpire that time, and it didn't work. So a minor score to Renmark. 11-10 now, 76 to Barmera-Monash, 6-4-40. And the kick-in will come from Snoopy Burns.
Yeah, I think you got a good call there, Rex. Burns comes to the grandstand side, looking for Ella Has good body work on O'Sheffer on that occasion, and takes the mark. From the 50-metre mark, goes in short, looking for Glasson. Glasson takes a good mark. It's a second good mark today by John Glasson. You want to get rid of it pretty quick. On the left foot, not a good kick, but they'll get out of trouble here through Brad Pettaway. Pettaway goes out wide to Matura. In pursuit now to Cole. Matura will go on the left foot in towards full forward area. An opportunity now for the Roos to get a score, but no, it's ill-directed. Taken by Ben Tracy. He goes across the face of goal to the scoreboard side. Tracy on the left foot. Not a particularly good... Oh, yes, it is a good kick. It's gone right to Lelman. I thought it was a bit wider than that, but Lelman with an opportunity to steady here for the Rovers. Right under the scoreboard, which reads 11-10, 76 to 6-4-40. An opportunity to go to Gartry. Gartry at half-time, and it is half-time here, Rex. It's Renmark 11-10, 76 to Barmera-Monash 6-4-40.
And we go down to the boundary now and talk briefly to Peter Kahn and Darren Hoytson-Roder down there in the crowd in front of the stand.
Rex, the Roos are really breaking down up forward. Jason Kasolki didn't do a real lot that term, so I'm not sure what changes Tony Fisher will make. Peter, your thoughts?
Yes, well, Rick with 7 goals has certainly made up for what we thought. He could be struggling in fitness, and same with Craig Lambert. Craig Lambert must be close to being best on ground with his performance in defence, and he's showing everyone that he is fit.
So there it is, the half-time score, 11-10, 76 to 6 goals, 440. We'll be back shortly to bring you all the action of the second half of the 1995 Grand Final. Start of the third quarter of the Grand Final. Barmera-Monash in trouble at half-time. They trail 6-4 to 11-10, margin 36 points. They need to find something pretty special. Buecker on the bench to start the third term. Up in the ruck goes Kruger, who wins the first tap. Tapped out of the air by Gartry. Here's an opportunity now for Renmark to come into attack through Handley. He gets a trip and should take the free kick. And he'll go on smartly. What'd you see, Leon?
No, just this trip by Andy. They're obviously Barmera are going to come out all fired up. There's no question about that. The next 10 minutes are going to be vital in this grand final.
Perhaps we could put Mark Rasciuto in there. He was out having a kick at half-time. Leon, as Mark Murray kicks the ball in long towards the forward area. The players fly down there. Kruger was dealt with. Play allowed to go on. Opportunity now for Fletcher and to Cole, who have had a wonderful tussle. Here comes to Cole towards the open goal. He kicks wide of the mark, looking for Venables. He's got it, and the early goal will go on the board to Renmark. And that was something Barmera didn't need. 12-10 now to 6 goals, 4 in the opening minute of the third term.
Yes, a very telling goal there too, Barmera. I thought a few seconds before, though, Kruger I thought was interfered with. So, but nevertheless, that you've got to go on with the play. And Tony Venables has created a few problems up there. His first goal, but he's kicked 3 behinds, but he certainly has been a handful up there for Brad Pettaway. But yes, as you mentioned, Rex, just the blow that the Roos didn't want. They'll need a huge lift now. Renmark right on top at the present time. Back in the centre, we've only played 30-odd seconds in this third quarter, the vital premiership third quarter. It's Kruger for Barmera-Monash, long handball towards half forward, it's gathered in by Ben Tracy, played pretty well. Hard tackle there by Matthew, it's gathered in by Murch. Murch goes out wide to Bonner. Bonner through the wing, gets around and play it pretty easy. A nice kick by Bonner out in front, Venables, good spoil by Brad Pettaway. Dempsey with fantastic hands to Lelman, intercepted by Tyrrell. Again, it's a free kick now been given to Greg Dempsey. About 48 metres out, Greg Dempsey. Certainly had an impact on this grand final today. He's had a wonderful season. Greg Dempsey kicking from about 55. The torpedo punt will land right into the goal square. Big man fade, might even bounce through. I think it has bounced through without being touched. Oh, what a fantastic goal by Greg Dempsey. 2 goals in 2 minutes to Renmark. And Rex, dare I say it, but the premiership looking ominous at the moment as the Roos are flat-footed.
Well, I wonder what Peter Kahn thinks down on the boundary line. I'm sure the crowd's pretty hushed now, Pete.
Barmera just haven't got the intensity that Renmark have got, and Renmark on balls are just destroying them all over the ground, and Modra just finishing off.
13-10 to 6 goals for early moments of the third term. Umpire Richie Roberts puts the bounce down at centre field in the ruck. Murray versus Kruger. Kruger wins the tap, but it's Renmark who emerge with the ball through Persnos. He swings play out wide to the run of Venables. He can't quite reach the football. Oh, there's plenty of body work going in there as Dempsey emerges now. His handball in towards the pocket is picked up by Tyrrell. He should clear for the Roos up towards the half-back line. A fickle bounce there to Petaway. Ball in the hands of Barmera-Monash though. They should work it out here. They've got numbers, but they can't quite find the handle on the ball. Now Eglinton's got it. He transfers play out wide towards the run of Clark. Clark's penetrating handball up towards Eglinton, and in they go the Rovers to Barmera-Monash Roos in towards half forward. Here's Simon Howe. Can he do something here as he has one bounce and lines them up from 35? And Simon Howe has converted for the Roos, and they certainly needed that. 7-4 to 13 goals, 10 at the 4-minute mark of the third term.
4 goals to Simon Howe from the half-forward line, run-on player. Very, very important player for the Roos, but they certainly need to get a run on here. Barmera-Monash, they need 2 or 3 quick ones to get their confidence up. At the moment, Renmark playing with just, sheer arrogance at the present time. They really are moving the ball around, particularly their midfield. Persnos, Hanley and Dempsey have been quite sensational. Back in the centre, it'll be Richie Roberts to get play underway again. We've played 4 minutes, it's 13-10 to 7-4. Tracy and ruck now, it's Ben Tracy up against Price. Price wins it, it comes down, it's Murch in there, it's hard on, big tackle on Gary Murch, will get the free kick. So Murch loses his boot. From the centre of the ground, Murch kicks towards half forward. Opportunity here for the Rovers. It'll be Hanley at the back of the pack, gathers the ball in nicely by Robert Hanley on his left foot, has a shot for goal off one step. A chance here for Venables, can't take the mark. It's an opportunity now for Glasson. Glasson to clear away for Barmera-Monash to the outer side. He'll be looking for Toddy Clark. O'Shepper in there, gathered in by Todd Harris. Harris has played a pretty good game on Dempsey. Has been a great clash that in towards half forward, looking for Kruger and Venables. Beach comes over the top. A free kick here will go to Kruger, I think, of Barmera-Monash. So Kruger from the 50-metre mark will kick from 55. We'll get the ball in quick. A chance here now for Kasolki on the lead. It's too far out for him. He dodges, goes one way, goes the other way. Onto his left foot, puts it back in towards the goal square, but it'll be Damien Murray to relieve. After a great game last week, Murray handles over the top towards Gartree. Gartree steady for the Rovers today to the outer side of the ground. Nobody home. Kruger in opposition here. Oh, it's a high tackle there on Persnos, I think. Goes at Lellman. It is Lellman. Dale Lellman will take the free kick outer side. So a chance for Renmark to go into attack again. Dale Lellman holds things up. Copped a high one there from Tim Kruger. Lellman goes towards the outer side, scoreboard side, looking here for Rover. Had a big week last week, couldn't take the mark there. Punched away by the Roo defence. Hanley in there. It's also Toddy Harris. Good tackle by Hanley, but it goes over the line and out of bounds just in front of Dempsey and Matura.
13-10 plays 7 goals for. 6 minutes into the third quarter of the 1995 grand final, and Renmark have things under control at the present time as the rucks go to it. It's one tapped out the side by Rover. Here's Murch, who's played a sensational grand final. He paddles the ball ahead. Did he get infringed? No, the umpire wouldn't give him a free kick that time. Well, the boundary umpire Duckford throws the footy back into play now just to kick away from the big opening for the Rovers, looking very dangerous in the term. Rover gets the tap. It's one out by Barmera-Monash though, and they clear the ball out towards the boundary line. It goes, and it must be thrown in again in front of the scoreboard. 13-10-88 to 7-4-46, and a very big crowd out there, Leon. And they've come here in big numbers today, and there's a bit of interest in the R.F.L underneath us too in the club rooms. I went down quickly at half-time, and a pretty good contest going on there as well. As players battle for possession, gathered in by Handley. Couldn't get it to anyone in particular. Clark struggling hard for Barmera-Monash. The umpire in close attendance, and he'll ball it up. 13-10 to 7 goals for. And plenty of atmosphere here at Loxton today with the number 2 oval arrayed with tents over there, ready for the big gadget day next week. And we're getting all the action here, courtesy of Dyer's Transport, helping us out with the camera boys on top of the grandstand. As another ball up occurs in front of the scoreboard area. 13-10-88 to 7-4-46 as we approach 7 minutes now in the third quarter. See if you can work it out of that big crush, Leon.
Oh, gee, it's certainly... the momentum of this game has stopped at the present time. It's Price with a big thump. That's what they need. Gartrey in the opportunity. He's tackled by Scott Matthew, the tough little Barmera. Played most of his seconds this year, but played a pretty good second semi-final, did Scott Matthew. Once again, another ball up. I suppose there's been 3 or 4 there in the last minute or so. Let's get this thing out of here. It might be a free kick in a minute. It's Rover with a big punch towards half forward. Burns will be the first to get there. Lifts his foot up, gets the ball over the top towards Chad Hawley. Hawley from half-back gets into the centre of the ground, a chance for Gartrey. Over the top goes Kruger. Kruger punches it clear. A chance now for Robert Price. He's played a pretty good game today, Robert Price. Gets it up towards Eleftheriadis. Lefty goes in from the 15-metre mark in front of Gill. Pumps it in towards the full forward. An opportunity to open goal square and kicks a goal. And he is one player that the Roos need to lift and can do it. Great goal to Eleftheriadis. It's his second goal. So Barmera-Monash move along to 8-4-52 to Renmark 13-10-88. Still a big lead, but they need a 2 or 3 quick ones, Rex, to get themselves back into this game of football.
Scott Matthew coming off, making way for Steve Buecker. Back into the play. Frog Fisher making the move. And Buecker, a veteran of many campaigns, some say playing his last game for Barmera-Monash today. Well, I'll believe that when I see it, rather. He really has been a wonderful player for them as Barmera-Monash work it out of the midfield area now. Buecker's got the chance here, but there's plenty of players around the ball. Left area hardest, battling hard. Buecker crashes into Brenton Venables, and the ball pinned to Buecker, and so a ball up will occur at half forward for the Roos.
Just wonder Rex with his 100% fit, Steve.
Tim Kruger opposed to Tracy, won by Buecker. He needs support. He got a very high tackle and a free kick not paid. Well, umpire Rex plays it on. He might have been, his view may have been obstructed there by other players, but it looked to be a very blatant free. And the crowd gave the big roar, but it didn't make any difference. The free didn't come. Tracy gets it. It's tapped on now. Picked up by Beach of Barmera-Monash. High ball towards Buecker. He got another high one. Play allowed to go on. Here's Gartrey. And a push out now, and a free kick will favour Renmark. And it will be taken by their skipper in John Personos. Personos wastes no time, got the lead from Lelman, gave him the call at centre wing. Well done, Ben Fletcher. Did that pretty well indeed. Got a handball on towards Eleftheriadis, who really didn't attack the ball 100%. Here's a chance for Personos. Opportunity for Tracy too as he paddles it close to the boundary line. And the ball going out of bounds, and it will be thrown in. Not far from 50. Just a kick away for Barmera. Tracy opposed to Mick Beach on this occasion, and from the side, well done O'Shepper. He's played pretty well today. Fists it up towards centre wing. Handley in hot pursuit of Machiro. Machiro's got the leg speed. He carries the ball beautifully down towards half forward, but he ran out of room, unfortunately, and so a boundary throw-in will occur on the half forward left position for Renmark. 13-10-88 to 8-4-52, and the ball with Ben Fletcher at centre wing.
Price missed the ball. Chance here for O'Shepard. Dempsey puts the tackle on Toddy Harris. Gets it out just in time. Across to Burns. Burns with a chance to put the Roos into attack. Looking for Eleftheriadis. Gill right with him. Eleftheriadis can't take the mark. Is it out of bounds on the full? No, it's touched, and it'll be a throw-in right in front of the broadcast position here. It's 13-10 to 8-4. We've played 11 minutes. The ball will be thrown in. It'll be Murray up against Mick Beach. Beach from the back. It'll be Murray. No, Beach takes the tap down, gets it over to Burns. A very quick kick by Burns, looking for Simon Howe. Bonner with him. A very awkward bounce. Goes over the top, favours the Renmark defender. Gets it across to Brenton Venables. Venables through to O'Shepard, and Renmark playing the better football. O'Shepard's got a paddock. He takes 2 bounces. Kicks it in towards half forward. Opportunity, not a good kick in the end result. And Toddy Harris, certainly one of Barmera's better players, has taken the solid mark in front of Greg Dempsey. Toddy Harris comes to the outer side, grandstand side. Not the outer side, Rex. I'm a bit confused there. It was the grandstand side, gathered in by Murch. Murch pumps it in towards half forward. Opportunity now for Lelman. Back to Handley. Handley an opportunity on his left foot now to put it right in towards the full forward. Ignores the modular lead. Goes for home. A chance, but it's on the last line of defence there. Bruce Eglinton will take the mark in front of Venables. Eglinton goes out towards the outer side looking for Glasson and Burns. Burns can't gather it in. It goes over the line and out of bounds. And Rex, 11 minutes into the third quarter. It's 13-10 to Barmera-Monash 8-4.
And Peter Kahn, we want you to make a move, Pete. What would you do to get Barmera back in this game?
At the moment, I think Barmera's slowly starting to edge their way back into the game. They're sort of even with Renmark at the moment for the ball. They've just got to commit themselves a little bit harder. I don't think they need to make moves. They've just got to be more hard at the ball.
So a free kick now favouring Renmark, and they're within range, and that player picking himself up is Robert Handley. Dealt with. So they trail by 6 goals at the 13-minute mark, and Barmera could see this lead increased as Handley will certainly make the distance from that position. We'll just have to watch the accuracy. But he's played a pretty useful game without really dominating, and every now and again that flash of brilliance as he sends the ball on its way. We'll wait on the goal umpire. Looks pretty sweet off the boot. In fact, it's full points to Renmark, and so Robert Handley kicks his second goal for the afternoon. 14-10 now to 8 goals 4 at the full 13-minute mark of the third quarter.
Rex, every time that Barmera just throw up a bit of a challenge, Renmark have the answers today. They certainly must give them credit here. They really have worked particularly well as a unit. Barmera just not going forward with any sort of system at the present time. They really are struggling to get the ball forward with any sort of system. Still, it's a long way to go, quarter and a half, and the Roos certainly have proved in 1995 they are a real fighting side, so a long way to go. 12 minutes into the third quarter. It's Price against Rover. Price has rocked particularly well today. No one really gets the tap there. May have been Rover. It got to Lelman. Lelman across to Personos. Personos pumps the ball in towards the full forward area. Venables in front and has really proving a problem down there for Brad Pittaway. Very strong mark to Tony Venables. He's just about 30 metres out on a slight angle. Will certainly have no problem here with the distance, and this really, Rex, I said earlier in the quarter, this could be the nail, or the first part of the nail in the coffin. Venables with left foot. Nobody moves. Straight through the middle. So another goal to Tony Venables. So he is really starting to feel a few goals here. 2 goals 3. And just too strong at the moment for a young Brad Pittaway. So Renmark breakaway 15-10, 100 to Barmera-Monash. What is that, Rex? 8 goals 4, 52. So they really have made a big break here on Barmera-Monash.
So Renmark controlling that midfield area. Lelman and Personos absolutely destroying the opposition in that particular area and setting up much of the play. Rover in the ruck this time, opposed to Robert Price.
48-point break.
And at the 15-minute mark of the third term, that really is a pretty near a match-winning lead. Let's see whether Barmera can retrieve the situations. They get it up towards half-forward. Aaron Gill has played very well on the Barmera Rovers. Here's Personos. He'll swing play out wide towards a running player out there in O'Shepper, and he's taken the mark 2 on the half-back flank. Goes long now towards centre half forward, looking for Rover up there. Harris from behind will fist away. Well done by the Barmera defender. Here's a chance for Tyrrell, who little toe pokes it forward towards a teammate there who couldn't retrieve it. Here's Burns, quick hands, good smother there by Renmark. They're desperate. Mark Murray up towards the half forward line, looking for Schutz up there. Modra lurking at the back. He used the body strongly, Modra, as the left boot goes in now towards the goal mouth area, but across the face of goal, and a minor score to Renmark. 15-10 now. 15-11, 101 to 8 goals 4, 52, and we're about halfway through the third quarter of the 1995 grand final.
49-point lead here to Renmark, looking pretty good. Toddy Harris to kick out for Barmera-Monash. Comes to the scoreboard, so looking for Simon Howe. Simon Howe takes a good mark in opposition to Robert Handley. Howe to the grandstands, comes into the wing here. Opportunity here for young Matthew Hutchinson. Hutchinson takes the mark in front of Greg Dempsey. Hutchinson towards half, looking for Burns. Burns takes no, he's missed the mark. It's the line out of bounds. The mark that he should have taken, Snoopy Burns, in front of Gill. He's been paid the mark. Well, Rex, I didn't think he held that long enough, but Burns, no, he's indecision here. No, it is going to be a ball in. Greg Reeks indicating to the boundary umpire. All confused. Ball thrown in. It'll be Rover against Price. Over top was Nicole, couldn't take the mark. Clark couldn't go it. A chance here for Dempsey. Well played by Greg Dempsey. Gets it up towards half forward. Hanley is pushed in the back. Free kick. Richie Roberts says correct. Pushed out by Toddy Harris. So Robert Hanley to take the free kick. Centre wing. Goes in towards half forward. On the lead is Tony Venables. With him Brad Pittaway. No one can hit him. Oh, terrific pick up by Schutz, but a terrible kick off the boot. Good pressure there by Chad Hawley. Goes out towards the pocket. Modra versus John Glasson, but the ball beats them over the line out of bounds. We played 17 minutes, 15-11, 101 to 8-4, 52. So 49-point lead here to Renmark.
Boundary throw in now to the ruckman as Glasson taps it out from the side. Gathered in by Murch almost. Opportunity now as Barmera-Monash come clear through Hutchison. He comes up towards the half-back line, but it's gathered in by Dempsey. And Dempsey just out of range will go quickly, but it's smothered off the boot. Lambert through solidly, couldn't get the footy. Barmera emerged with the ball through Kasolki. Here's Lambert again in the picture. Quick hands on towards Mark Murray. They could go right up into the teeth of goal here with a good kick towards the goalmouth area, and across the line it goes. And a minor score to Renmark. 15 goals, 12, 102 to 8 goals, 4, 52. And we've played something like 17 minutes of the third quarter of the grand final. Kick in by Harris as Pittaway comes to the boundary, and he'll be replaced by Paul Mitchell. Left Theriatis with the chance, but Renmark are desperate for the ball. They've got players running. That time the handball smothered. Gathered in now by Mark Tyrrell. He comes up towards space here at half forward. Mick Beach couldn't quite reach the footy. The clash of bodies there as Ben Tracy comes clear. Gets it nicely onto the chest of Aaron Gill. And Gill on the half-back flank. Wastes no time. Had a choice of teammates up there. Rovers got it. Rover on smartly to Lellman, who made space behind him. Lellman now positive, direct in towards Modra territory. He went up high, Modra, couldn't complete the mark. Ball to ground, gathered in by Dempsey. Here's danger for Barmera. Jams it onto the boot, Dempsey. Out wide towards a teammate, almost to Personos. He puts the pressure on, and Hawley retrieves the situation for Barmera and will clear to the half-back flank.
Shepard Rex has played a particularly good game. He's under pressure here from Toddy Clark. Clark on the left foot goes towards half forward. Barmera-Monash need a goal desperately. Gartry's out in front, gets a bad bounce, beats Buecker also. In pursuit there is Robbie Bonner. Bonner kicks it over nicely towards Chris Gartery, who will steady for Renmark. Out of side, Renmark in control of this game at the moment, playing great football. In towards Barry Sweetman must be on the ground now. So Sweetman in front of Beach will take the mark. Barry Sweetman just forward of centre, only fractionally. Start on the fence for Renmark today. Has been a very, very good tagger, Rex, in recent times. Sweetman goes towards half forward, looking for, well, no in particular, that was a terrible kick off the boot, and the mark there has been taken by Matthew Hutchinson.
And he'll clear off the half-back line as we go to the boundary with Darren and Peter.
Yes, Rex, as you mentioned, Des Kemp just did make a change. Lambert was off and Sweetman was on. Peter?
Yes, it's. I think it might be precautionary at the moment. Just give Lambert a bit of a rest, but we'll see what happens.
So Renmark with possession on the half-back line now. Bonner towards Venables, who's been very dependable in defence. He was met solidly there. And the Barmera-Monash player in Burns brought him down. And a free kick will go Brenton Venables' way, but I don't think he's in any condition to take it at the moment. So Aaron Gill will fill that role and kick it high towards half forward, looking for Rover and company up there. Here's left Theriatis. He's off and running. He's a very pacey player. On towards Maturo. Maturo had time to steady and look for Buecker, who had the big leap from behind. It's Kruger, who should kick for goal, but he can't kick it accurately. And Ben Tracy came in at the last moment and spoilt the attempt and through for a minor score to Barmera. 8 goals, 5 plays, 15 goals, 12. We've played 20 in the third quarter of the grand final. Bonner now, half-distance kick in towards Ben Tracy. Tracy elects to handball to Sweetman, and he'd be anxious to have this run in the grand final. Sweetman, very dependable defender. Into Personos, one of the best players on the ground. Personos now wastes no time, kicks out wide towards centre wing, looking for Tony Venables out there. Ball eludes all players except Tyrrell, who came through and brushed the tackle well. Up long towards half forward. Here's an opportunity for Mick Beach. Ball to ground, eludes the grasping fingers of Aaron Gill, and Lyndon Burns gets the free kick as Personos brings him down from behind. 15-12, plays 8 goals, 5 as Brad Pittaway comes back on the ground for Tim Kruger. Burns trying his heart out. He knows this game is really slipping away, and they really do need a brace of goals here just on three-quarter time. Can this be the first of them? As he comes in towards Simon Howe in the pocket, he takes a very good mark in opposition to Bonner. Completely outpointed that player on that occasion. Now Simon Howe's on a very severe angle, and although he looks for leads out in towards the centre field area, they've all been cut off, so I think he'll be forced to have the shot.
Rex, he's been very prominent up forward today, hasn't he? He probably hasn't had as much influence around the ground as he normally has, but he's certainly been very prominent up forward.
It's a real danger player.
This for his 5th goal.
Gets the lead from Buecker, that's ignored, and Howe now will need to produce something here to kick a straight ball through, and it's just wide of the mark, in fact. Didn't even register.
12 metres wide, Rex.
Out of bounds on the full. I thought umpire Scott indicated a point, but the resultant free kick will be taken by Robbie Bonner.
Bonner from deep in the back pocket. Bring him up towards half-back, a chance here. Now, Ella for the house, bad kick. Oh, I missed what he should have taken. Matura from 50. Likewise, not a real flash kick back in towards the full forward area. Has Bonner touched it? Could be an open goal here. It has been touched, and opportunity there for Barmera goes begging through Adrian Matura. So Bonner got his hand to it. Another behind here to Barmera. So it's 8-6-54 to 15-12, 102. We've played 21 minutes into the third quarter. Bonner goes short to Personos. A nice kick too from Bonner on this occasion. Personos takes the mark. Play stopped again. A lot of stop-start today. Hasn't flowed as we would have expected a big final. It kicks it towards Hanley. It's a nice kick too out in front of Hanley. Well placed. Matura with Hanley at the present time. So Robert Hanley from half-back right. Put Renmark in towards the wing. Right in front of the grandstand here. Tyrrell in opposition to Rover. Over the top was Dempsey. Couldn't take the mark. The ball is run over the line out of bounds. Cole putting pressure on young Chad Hawley there. And the ball is out in front of the grandstand. Right here. It's 22 and a half minutes gone to the third quarter. 15-12, 102 Renmark. Barmera-Monash 8-6-54. The ball thrown in Price up against Rover. Rover uses the body well, but it goes over both the players. Price, quick possession here towards half forward. A chance for Murray, all on his own, takes the mark on the chest, a safe mark in front of Simon Howe. He's got Aaron Gill all on his own. He's got a big space here for Aaron Gill. If he picks the ball up, gets the good bounce. No, he doesn't. Puts the one hand out. There was a chance there for Kasolki. Tough play by Kasolki. Gets it over the top for Buecker. Here goes Big Red. Gartery in pursuit. Can he get the ball across towards Pittaway? Yes, he can with the Granby looking play here by Buecker. Oh, Barmera-Monash has fluffed this up, Rex, terribly. A chance for Buecker, cross to Burns. Burns from about 40 metres. One step, kicks it towards full forward. Nobody home for the Roos. Is taken away by Ben Tracy, comes to the outer side. And Rex Lorman on the lead here. An opportunity too for Renmark to cut in here. And a nice play, a nice mark taken by young Ben Fletcher.
His half-distance kick is beautifully taken by Beach, and Beach should have the shot from goal. Well, he'll go short, I think. He's a little too far out. The leader's on from Kasolki, who's in much better range, and he'll have the shot now. The angle a little more severe, but the left boot now of Jason Kasolki, and we're right behind this kick, a most important one, approaching three-quarter time. If they can get a couple quick ones here, Barmera, with perhaps their rest of last week, they might find something in the legs, but at the moment, Renmark have got all the answers. Jason Kasolki certainly should make the distance. It's one of the most powerful kicks in the R.F.L. and very deliberate, lining them up now from about 35 metres. Kasolki fires on the southern goal and converts. So Barmera with their 9th goal. 9 goals, 6 to 15 goals, 12, and perhaps Peter Kahn, if they can muster up a little bit here and get 2 or 3 quickly, they might still give themselves a chance in the last quarter.
Certainly Barmera, if they can get, they need to get 2 or 3 goals in time on, because Barmera will keep fighting the game right out.
So Kasolki did well there to trap that ball initially from the midfield area when Aaron Gill, Leon, looked as though he had a paddock and they could have really set something up there. But to Kasolki's credit, he was a very important playmaker on that occasion. In the end, it was quite fitting that he kicked the goal.
Yes, he attacked the ball pretty hard there. This is where Renmark have come back on every occasion. Price with the tap down, gets it out to young Matthew Hutchinson. Well played by Hutchinson in towards the full forward area. A chance for Gartery, who's been solid in defence today for the Rovers. Takes the mark 15, 20 metres out of goal. Buecker on the mark. Gets it across to Gill. The little give. Venables with the shepherd on Buecker. Chance for Gill to go towards half-back. No, oh, terrible kick by Gill. Here's a chance for Simon Howe, could make them pay dearly. Simon Howe has missed it. He's off target and goes through for one behind. That Rex would have certainly given Barmera just a little bit of momentum if he had kicked that goal. So 4 goals, 1 out to Simon Howe.
42 points the difference as we reach time on in the third quarter of the grand final. Robbie Bonner kicking the ball back into play as he does so often. Looks for leads up the ground. He kicks to himself and gains a few metres here as Ben Tracy gives him a call, but he elects to give the handball off towards Venables. Back to Bonner, and Bonner now outside 50, kicks long towards centre wing. Lelman got all the opponents under the ball, but it was Burns who had the pace that time to get back and lead in the race to the ball and draw the free kick out of the opposition near the Renmark reserve shoulder. And all the boys are sitting down today, Leon. I think they're quite content with the situation at the moment. Nobody's standing up. And Simon Howe now with an important possession just on the defensive side of centre wing will come across the 4 painted crests here, including the 5A one, out towards Ben Tracy, who tapped it towards the boundary line. and the ball will go out of bounds in the interchange gate and be thrown in front of the grandstand, which is packed to the rafters today. And the boys up on the crane, the Dyers crane there, taking in all the action at centre wing for us as the fist comes from Price towards the run here of Fletcher. Trapped nicely by Persnos, who's been quite superb. Todd Clark with the opportunity, but it beats all players out of bounds and must be thrown in again. 102 plays 61. We've played a minute and a half of time on in the third quarter.
Ball thrown in, Price against Rover. Price wins it with one hand, can't get in decisive tap out. Persnos snaps it up towards Lelman. I think the ball will beat him over the line out of bounds. Gee, they're close to the boundary line here, Rex, but yes, a bit of a stunned crowd at the present time. I think a lot of them would like to see Barmer get a couple of goals and have an exciting last quarter. Ball thrown in again. Price and Rover do it again. Wrestling today's football is unbelievable. A chance for Hanley, superb by Robert Hanley, goes in towards full forward, looking for Rick Modra and John Glasson. Oh, great positioning by Rick Modra. He pushed Glasson just under the ball fractionally, so Rick Modra from around 30 metres out will kick for his 8th goal. Certainly been a little quieter this quarter, but what a sensational first half, and I think that if Renmark win this premiership, they can certainly put a lot of it down to Rick Modra's great first half performance. Modra, very deliberate, from 35 metres. This for his 8th goal. Kicked to 7 goals, 2 to this point in time. The ball, I think he's going to make it. I think he's kicked a beautiful goal by Rick Modra. So 8 goals, 2 to Rick Modra. And Renmark move further away. 16, 12, 108 to 9, 7, 61. And Rex, every time Barmera score a goal, Renmark reply.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see what the judges do for the Murray Pioneer Best on Ground Award today, Leon, because the running players like Persnos and Lelman have had a big impact. But, I mean, you've got a great finisher there, haven't you, in Modra with 8 goals. It'll be interesting to see how they arrive at the decision. But they're all in the running at the moment. And Renmark, with a lot of good players, will go in at three-quarter time with a pretty handy lead. 16-12 plays 9-7 as the ball back at centre field with umpire Richie Roberts. Rover in the ruck there with Price. And Price has played pretty well, and he takes it out of the air this time. Got it out wide towards Hawley. He'll tap it forward, but Renmark have got the numbers there to put the pressure on, and they emerge with the football. Eventually a free kick will be paid to Greg Dempsey. Dempsey now wastes no time. In towards half forward looking for Lelman. A very clever mark, running with the flight of the ball. And Lelman taking a little bit of time now. He knows three-quarter time not far away. There's a man drifting down into to space at half forward. That was Murray. Thought he could convince the umpire to give him perhaps 25 metres, but that didn't work. So he'll have the shot for goal from about 45 to 50, Mark Murray. On his own shoulders, probably got Renmark into a winning position last week in the third term with a super effort against Loxton. Runs up close to the man on the Mark Murray, and he really gets into that ball, and it goes a long way. And Mark Murray has kicked the 17th goal for Renmark, and they go to 17-12 now to 9 goals 7, and they're telling blows, Peter Kahn, as we approach three-quarter time.
Barmera starting to hang their heads. You know, notice quite a few Renmark players are running loose without the Barmera players chasing hard. It's disappointing.
So that's what footy's all about. If you can get that break and get that confidence, it can really make the opposition feel terrible, and they will find it very hard to get back into the game now, Barmera. As we approach three-quarter time, 114 plays 61. The ball at centre field is won by Price. It gets out towards Hutchison, but his handball is smothered. Ben Tracy's had a good term. Short to the lead of Rover. Back to Tracy. Here's another man running loose in Lelman, but he's ignored as Tracy goes long towards the goal square area looking for Modra. He sets himself. A big mark at the back is taken down there by Derek Schutz, who was on the interchange bench today, and he'll have the deliberate shot for goal now from about 30 metres out. The angle reasonably severe, but Schutz is usually quite reliable with his goal shooting, and he'll have the chance to register the 18th goal for Renmark. One of the Karunda Schutzes, and he shoots for goal. And what has he done? He's gone wide of the mark, just to the left. 17-13, 115 to 9-7, 61 as we approach 30 minutes of the third quarter of the 1995 Grand Final.
Todd Harris to kick the ball out for the Roos. A few problems the Roos. As many problems as John Howard at the present time. He kicks it to himself. Chance for the Roos to get out of defence. Back to the 50-metre line, and that is three-quarter time. It's three-quarter time here. It's 17-13, 115 Renmark to Barmera-Monash 9-7-61. Rex, it'll take a fantastic effort for Barmera to get back into this game.
Well, let's see whether Peter and Darren can come up with a solution as the big crowd goes out to the respective camps at three-quarter time.
Yes, thanks, Rex. I've been very impressed, actually, with Matthew Hutchinson and Ben Fletcher. The two young Barmera players have done a lot around the ground. Young Hutchinson's played well on Mark Murray, who had a big match last week, and Fletcher's done well around the midfield. Peter, your thoughts?
Well, I think just saw Perth just starting to cramp up. I think Barmera will need Renmark all to cramp up by now.
So there it is, three-quarter time. We'll take a break and be back shortly. Start of the last quarter of the 1995 Grand Final. Renmark in a match-winning position, I'd suggest, leading by 54 points as umpire Reeks starts play and Price goes in the ruck with Ben Tracy. They've had a pretty good battle, but the Barmera big men have done quite well, but it's Renmark usually carting the ball away. The ball in dispute at half forward now, fisted forward for Barmera-Monash. The ball runs clear. Here's an opportunity for Murch as he paddles the ball through the pack. Quick hands out of the pack was terrific towards Persnos. Big fella Murray lopes away, out to space to Aaron Gill. Gill on the point of the square, has plenty of time to size up the situation and put it right up in towards the teeth of goal, looking for Tony Venables. He leads two opponents to the ball. Bruce Eglinton there in support of his teammates, gets it on wide towards Harris, and Harris will clear out towards the half-back flank, looking there for Ben Fletcher. Fletcher and Gill do battle. Fletcher held off the ball, play allowed to go on, he'll need support, gets it now from Paul Mitchell, comes through solidly Mitchell, and he's claimed. Ball allowed to play on here as Barmera emerged with the footy out towards left Theriatis, and he's off and running with a long handball out wide towards Burns. Burns in front of the scoreboard. Burns is kicking towards the lead now of Jason Kasolki, who judged it best of all, and will have the shot for goal from 45 metres, the angle reasonably severe. So a promising move by Barmera-Monash here. Let's hope they can cap it off and make some sort of a contest out of this grand final for the big crowd in attendance. They trail by 9 goals at the moment at the start of the last quarter. Jason Kasolki taking plenty of time to line it up. He's kicked 2 goals. He sends it on its way. And we'll wait on the goal umpire. Minor score to Barmera. 9-8 now to 17-13 as we go down to Peter and Darren, who've been out to the coaches at three-quarter time.
Yes, thanks, Rex. A very fired-up Des Kemp has told his players not to relax and to kick long and look for the big fella, and just to treat this game as if scores are level.
A very cool, calm Froggy Fisher. He just asked his players to keep at it, and the doors will open.
Bono kicks the ball out towards Ben Tracy, who takes the mark in front of Mick Beach. So Renmark in the box seat here. Just play for keeps at the moment. Tracy comes out towards the grandstand side looking for Robert Handley. Handley, and good mark by Robert Handley, former Hawthorn St Kilda star. Can bring the ball towards centre wing, looking for Gartrey. Goes over his head, looking for Rover. Rover takes the mark in front of Tim Kruger. So stop and start play at the present time. Long hands towards Gill. Gill through the centre of the ground. A chance takes one bounce. Going in towards the full forward area now. Opportunity here for Rick Modger against John Glasson. Strength of 2 players. Glasson takes the good mark. Hasn't had a huge impact on this game today, John Glasson, but that's a very sound mark in defence. Glasson to go to the outer side. Opportunity now for Barmera-Monash. Not a good kick, a chance for Eleftheriadis. Can't take the mark, but knocks it on clever to his own advantage. Oh, great smother on that occasion there by Persnos. Gets into the back, I think free kick play on, says the umpire, advantage to Eleftheriadis. The chance for Chad Hawley now. Hawley to go through half forward. He'll be met there by Damien Murray. It pumps it towards the full forward. Brenton Venables from behind. Kasolki in the middle of the pack. A chance here for Tyrrell off the car, but he can't get it. Chance also for Barmera-Monash kicking in danger. I think it's gone against the Roos. So it'll be a free kick here to Robbie Bonner. Bonner to go short. Plenty of confidence shown by the Renmark players now. Murray, an opportunity, takes the bounce. The big man goes through half-back, goes to the outer side wing looking for Persnos. Persnos there with Lelman. Lelman opportunity. Fumbles the ball. Burns in hot pursuit. Takes the ball over the line and out of bounds. We've played 4 minutes. 17-13, 115 to Barmera-Monash, 9-8-62.
Boundary thrown at centre wing. And the rucks to it. The leap from the side by De Cole. Fisted out to advantage where Persnos gathers in. Half distance kick to Lelman. And Lelman steadies the play up now, looking for support up the ground. De Cole ran into space well, and Renmark worked closer to the 50-metre line. The leader's on from Venables. It's a little high, though, for that player as they come from behind. Bruce Eglinton fists forward intelligently. Here's a chance for the pacey Matura. He's unloaded. Opportunity for a very clever Greg Dempsey, but he had about 4 opponents to work through there, and he wasn't up to that. Here's a chance left Theriatis now on the cricket pitch area. He'll need support. Gets it from Clark. Clark kicks it long towards the goal mouth area. Big struggle for possession down there, and Jason Kasolki's got the football and has kicked the goal for Barmera-Monash. That's better movement into the forward lines. They attacked Greg Dempsey there, 4 or 5 players on him, and they won possession, got it up into the teeth of goal and brought up their 10th. 10 goals, 8 now to 17 goals, 13. And Kasolki with his 3rd goal. Howe's got 4, whilst for Renmark, Modra has kicked 8 goals.
Back in the centre of the ground, Rex, I think as this progresses, I'll get you to explain how the final 8 works.
I wouldn't attempt to start.
Well, I think you find that all depends on who wins tomorrow. Bounce in the centre of the ground, a chance for Price. Eyes for the ball. Price has played particularly well today. Gets the ball up towards half forward, but intercepting there is Ben Tracy. Played a pretty good game today, Tracy. Goes to the wing looking for Dempsey. Good pass. Dempsey drops it. He's paid the mark. At wing. Yes, he's paid the mark. Toddy Harris with him, but Greg Dempsey will take the mark at centre wing. Sweetman to return the ball to him. Play stop and start today. Dempsey goes to the half-forward flank. Not a good kick by Dempsey. It goes over the top, and Ben Fletcher's an opportunity. Gets the ball off for a little scrubby kick towards Lytton Burns. Burns from the centre can go over the top. He does to Eleftheriadis. Goes through the centre of the ground. Barmer looking just a little bit better at the moment. A chance here for... how is it? No, it isn't. It's Brenton Venables to get the long hands. Gets it up towards half forward to Personos. A long handball to Bonner. Bonner through the centre of the ground. He's tackled by Price. Good pressure by Price. A chance here for Toddy Clark. Clark can gather the ball in. No, he can't. Knocks it on cleverly, but missed by Simon Howe. A chance for O'Shepard for the Rovers. Takes a bounce. Then run into the goals. No, he goes over the top to Tony Venables. Venables over the top to Robert Handley. They're going too much. Now Handley breaks through. He's caught. Gets the ball to his boot, and he took the goal to Robert Handley. Yes, it is. A great goal to Robert Handley on a lot of pressure at the end. So at the end of the result, a great goal there. And Renmark moved on to 18-13, 121. Barmera-Monash 10-8, 68. So Robert Handley has kicked another goal in a pretty good performance today, Rex.
Yes, he's been around the mark, hasn't he? He's capable of that brilliant manoeuvre, and he did it there under a ton of pressure. Converted for his 3rd. And O'Shepard with the bounce of the ball set it up for the Rovers. He's been very useful today, and one of the success stories of season 95 is the ball goes down at centre field. Nobody really wins the centre field head out, but Handley wins the football, kicks it up high towards the half forward line, looking for his teammates up there. Chance now for Barmer to clear through Paul Mitchell. He goes out wide to the run of Fletcher and DeCole, who've had probably the battle of the day. Fletcher and DeCole, they race hard at the ball. Fletcher makes front position. DeCole wins it. They get very close to the boundary line. Play allowed to go on. Tapped back in nicely by Fletcher, who's giving his all for Barmera-Monash, but the boundary line beats them, and it must be thrown in front of the board, which says 18-13, 121 to 10-8, 68, and we've played 7 minutes in the last quarter of the grand final. The tap is won by Tyrrell. Renmark win the footy. It's gathered in now by the Rovers as they come up towards Gartrey. Gartrey's quick hands to O'Shepard. He couldn't quite get it the first time. Pounces back on it now, keeping his eye on the ball very well indeed. Unloaded is Gartrey, and the play allowed to go on. No, a free kick will be paid to Chris Gartrey, and that'll be taken at centre wing for the Rovers. 121 plays 68 at the 7-minute mark of the last quarter as Gartrey comes in towards the half-forward flank looking for Dempsey up there, and Derek Schutz and company as Lellman also in the picture, but the handball comes out by Barmera-Monash to Eglinton. Eglinton on smartly to Price. Price out towards centre wing. It's nicely picked up there by Howe. Howe will go along towards the scoreboard pocket, but it's a terrible kick off the side of the boot and out on the full, and the resultant free kick will be taken by Renmark. 121 to 68. And we've played 8 minutes of the last quarter.
Barry Sweetman to take the kick. The famous number 19, Rex, you'll recall who wore that for Barmer for many, many years. Sweetman. Taking his time, going towards centre wing. It's quite a pack developing over there. Dempsey in front, Handy from behind. No one can take the mark. It's gathered in by Matura, but it runs over the line and out of bounds. And Matura, they're having a word to one of these supporters. Ball to be thrown in, out of side. 121 to 68. You'd have to suggest, though, that the Rovers are home and hosed. A chance here for Rover. Can't win the tap. It's Price in there working hard again for the Roos. Certainly one of their better players today. Price again gets the handball out to Burns. Burns to put the Roos into attack. Chance for Kasolki there. Another option is Tyrrell. Can't mark. Venables working hard. Kasolki over the football. Ben Tracy tackles him. It'll be ball up. Greg Reeks to ball it up about 25 metres out in front of goal. Gills played a particularly good game. O'Shepard Some good players. Beach to take the ball out of the air. Good hands by Beach, missed by Tyrrell. Gets it over the top here now. Chance for Toddy Clark. Clark, because the ball runs over the line and out of bounds. Ball to be thrown back in again. Bit of a stalemate at the present time. Tossed in. Opportunity here for Tracy. Over towards Persnos. Very well done. Persnos towards Lelman. Lelman could get it out towards the half forward Handley. He's met subtly out there, but ball's still in play. I thought it had gone out of bounds. A chance for Simon Howe to pump it in towards the full forward area. It looks like, it's a push in the back there. Kasolki's taking the mark. Must be a free kick to Damien Murray.
Mark Murray.
Mark Murray, sorry.
Damien's still at North Melbourne.
Look, Rex, that's the second time today I've called him Damien. You're absolutely right. But I thought that was a clear push in the back on that occasion, but Kasolki got away with it. Kasolki from about 25 to 30 metres out, directly in front. This for his fourth goal. Kasolki has put it straight through the middle. So fourth goal to Jason Kasolki. Barmera move along to 11-8, 74, 18-13, 121. Rex, we've played 10 minutes into the final term, and really the game hasn't, since quarter time, hasn't reached what you'd say in explosive proportions.
No, Renmark got it under control. Well, Peter Kahn, they won't lie down, will they, those Roos rather?
Oh yes, but they're a bit disappointing. Their key movers, like Todd Clark's been very quiet since quarter time, and I think really needs to push it on this for the last few minutes.
So the ball back at centre field with Price opposed to Tracy, and the big man Price takes it out of the air, and they ran hard at each other, and Price gets the free kick.
He's been pretty good today, Rex.
Yes, he's played very serviceably as Price now puts the Roos into attack up towards the half-forward flank, looking for Tyrrell up there, and he's taken the mark too. Over the top of the pack, Mark Tyrrell. He's outside 50, and he'll have the shot for goal. Now we'll just see what he's like with distance. The angle about 45 degrees. And Mark Tyrrell taking plenty of time to size up the situation. He ignores some of the leads that are going on up there. He runs pretty close to the man on the mark. He kicks it right up into the teeth, and it's fisted away by the Renmark defenders. And Bono emerges with the ball, kicks it long to the half-back flank and straight back to Tyrrell. Now Tyrrell's a little further out, so he'll play on. Kicks the ball in low and long and hard. It's taken down there by the Renmark defender in Robert Handley, and he'll clear for the Rovers. Players running everywhere, but he's taking plenty of time. And we saw it last week in the semi-final. He's got a wise head on his shoulders as he picks Bonner out. Bonner now gives space at half-back. He directs playing towards Gill at centre half-back, and Gill accepts the mark. Played very serviceably today on the Barmera Rovers as Handley lends support. Kicks it up long towards the half-forward line. Burns there. Trap it close to the boundary line, Burns. Got a handball clear now towards the run of Fletcher. Fletcher will come inland towards centre half-forward, looking for Eleftheriadis. Oh, the ball spilled out of the hands of Tracy there. He pounces back on it, and a stalemate develops, and umpire Richie Roberts in close attendance will ball it up just a kick away from the Barmera goal. 18-13 to 11 goals, 8, and we've played 12 minutes of the last quarter.
Cramp there to young Ben Tracy. Ball to be bounced. Well, I've had a fantastic final series, Rex. I've picked 4 losers. Ball bounced. Chance here now for Rover against Beach. Knocked out. Tyrrell with a good tackle on Handley. Play on. Burns gathers the crumbs. Has a shot for goal. And nice looking effort here by Snoopy Burns. And he puts through the 12th goal for the Roos. It's 12-8, 80 to 18-13, 121. Rex, no, I won't say that.
Well, Lyndon Burns has tried his heart out. Of course, he was with Barmera-Monash with all those successful campaigns during the 80s, but he would know they're really up against it at the moment. But he's run on strongly and kicked a pretty good goal at the 13-minute mark. And Barmera-Monash just won't lay down, but they haven't been able to match the run and the class of Renmark today as the central umpire, Greg Reeks, puts the ball down. There's an infringement in the centre square. Somebody's in there who shouldn't be, and the free kick's gone to Barmera-Monash. Here comes Maturo. He'll kick them in long towards half-forward, be gathered in down there by Persnos, and Persnos will go out wide. He swings it towards Bonner, who's run just as fast at this end of the game as he does at the start. Bonner up at centre wing, chips it in short. The kick's misdirected though, gathered in by Kruger. Long handball up the ground will find Pittaway. Pittaway's got the call from Burns. Burns now out wide towards Eleftheriadis. He's right hard against the boundary line, lefty. He's getting in a ton of trouble out there too as the Renmark opposition come at him and wasn't holding the ball. There was a free kick awarded to the Rovers, and they go clear towards centre wing. And there's Lelman, or is it DeCole in fact?
Played very well today, hasn't he, young Cole?
Yes, they've been locked in a great battle, De Cole and Fletcher. Honours about even, I'd suggest. Here's Lelman with an opportunity to mark. Ball brought to ground. A bit of manhandling there. And umpire Richie Robertson, close attendance. They haven't missed too much today, the umpies. Here comes Barmera-Monash now with handball to Burns. Burns in long towards centre half forward. Beaches the target. Gave him the lead and took a very nice mark too. On smartly with handball, which probably wasn't the wisest choice, but they get out of it all right. Here goes Beach towards goal. Can he kick a major, McBeach? Up towards the Tita goal and across the big goal square pack, and it's taken nicely by Robbie Bonner, who will defend. 18-13 now to 12 goals 8. We arrive at 15 minutes at the last quarter of the grand final.
Bonner to clear the Rovers. Been all Barmera-Monash in the last 4 or 5 minutes here, Rex. Goes to the outer side. A chance here again. A good mark to be paid. Yes, it is. It's, as you mentioned earlier on, that has been an absolutely fantastic duel. Young Ben Fletcher and Adrian De Cole. Fletcher on this occasion wins the points. Goes in short, looking for Tyrrell. Too high for him. It goes over his head. Chance for Simon Howe. Suckers it off. Persnos in there. Works the ball towards the boundary. Through comes the Rover defence. A tackle on Simon Howe. Did he have the football? It's picked up. It's out of bounds. Or has there been a free kick paid, Rex? No, it's out of bounds. Right deep in the forward pocket. But they certainly have had most of the play in the last 4 or 5 minutes here, Barmera-Monash. The couple of quick goals will certainly give them some momentum, but they tried 121 to 80, so it's a huge deficit. It's got to be a free kick there to young Ben Tracy against Mark Tyrrell. He grabbed him without the football, so Tracy will relieve from the back pocket. Ben Tracy wants to play on. Crowd of players down there. Goes out wide looking for Murray. Murray can't take the mark. He's intercepted by Price there, punched away by Price. Burns stood back and waited. Robert Hanley comes through. Hanley goes out wide to the wing. A chance here. Some tired legs starting to show here now as Rover pumps the ball in towards Gartrey up forward. Gartrey in pursuit there was Bruce Eglinton with a bit of a spoil. In through comes Derek Schutz. Schutz with a little left foot snap, but he's under pressure when he kicked the ball. The mark is taken there by Ben Fletcher. Fletcher goes out wide to Burns. Burns can go to Harris, but he ignores that and goes a little further, looking for Price. Price in front takes the mark in front of Robert Hanley.
Well, the big crowd hush, still hoping for a miracle.
Certainly,
Leon,
Rex.
but it'll take a miracle. We saw Wakery come from the clouds last year in the grand final in the last quarter, but the spark doesn't seem to be quite there in the Barmera performance to make something of this contest. They trail at the moment by 6 goals 5, which is a very big contract. And Peter Kahn, I suggest it's almost beyond reach as we arrive now at 17 minutes in the last quarter. Ball. Go, Pete.
Okay, it's just going to be who's going to be best on ground. Robert Hanley certainly showing the way at the moment. He's been running hard all day with the ball and chasing the man.
Here's Dempsey getting a bit of attention from behind. Behind play allowed to go on. Opportunity for Aaron Gill, who's been quite sensational. He's cramping up too as he gets boot to ball. Gartrey takes a steady mark. He's up near the half-forward area now towards Gary Murch. Now Murch could fire on goal here. He goes with a banana ball, but it hits the behind post, so it's out on the full. And I don't think he quite knew whether to pass it off or shoot for goal or do something fancy. But
only Gary Murch, Rex.
18-13, 1-2-1 plays 12-8, 80 at the 18-minute mark.
One of the characters of Renmark, isn't he?
Big pack now with the ball coming in high, and Robert Price takes a very solid one from Jason Rover as they fist the ball out over the line, and it must be thrown in here in front of the broadcast point. And the big crowd anticipating a comeback. I don't think they'll see it. The spark not there as Kruger wins possession through the legs of Fletcher. Nicely done, Howe. Manhandled. Play allowed to go on. Here's Gary Murch threading his way out of the pack. Hutchison puts the pressure on. Ball in dispute. Harris, and there's a little skirmish behind play, but the game basically has been played in terrific spirit today. Haven't seen much nonsense at all. Here's Fletcher with very good hands to Machiro. Machiro's off and running across the 5A crest. He's had 2 bounces. He'll bring the ball back towards centre half forward. Don't know whether it'll quite reach Pittaway. Bonner through solidly. He's met beautifully by Hutchinson. A good solid body contact there, and the ball rushes out over the line near the Renmark reserve shelter. 18-13, 1-2-1 plays 12-8, 80, and we've played 19 minutes of the last quarter.
Yes, they're still having a bit of a go. Young Adrian Mature doesn't mind mixing it a bit. He's taken out of the ruck contest here by Price. Price goes in towards the full forward area, but once again, dropped by Ben Tracy. He's played a pretty good game today. In pursuit there, Tyrrell. Chance here, both players have gone down. Don't know what happened there, Rex, but maybe just a few tired legs. Tyrrell gets up now, but Ben Tracy's certainly looking a bit squirmish. Cop one there, bit of a corky. Ball thrown in. Chance for Mick Beach. Takes the ball out of the air, gets the quick hand to young Brad Pittaway. Pittaway just on the left foot scrambles it another 15 metres closer to the Barmera-Monash goal. Well, a huge crowd today here at Loxton in absolutely perfect conditions. 20 minutes gone, 18-13, 121, 12-8, 80. A chance here for Snoopy Burns to pump it in high, and it is very high. Doesn't give the forwards much opportunity. It comes down towards Eleutheriadis. Can he pick the ball up? He's under pressure from young DeCole. Gets it out wide to young Ben Fletcher. Fletcher in towards the full forward area opportunity, but he just misses and goes to the left-hand side of the goal post. So it's 12-9, 81 to 18-13, 121.
The lead just under 7 goals. And the game, I think, safely in the keeping of Renmark, and they'll play steady football from here on in. Bonner, who's been quite outstanding in the back lines today, and he runs hard and strong to lend support up the ground. Derek Schutz deciding to perhaps ignore the lead this time. Will go long to the half-back flank. Players set themselves out there. Good mark taken by Johnny Personos, the Renmark captain, who's been quite a terrific player today. He'd be in the running for best of field, that's for certain, as Personos comes up to centre wing. The runner's on there from Dempsey, but he's outnumbered this time. Simon Howe got the call from young Fletcher, who's had an absolute burster in this last quarter. Here's Bonner, attacks the ball strongly. Bonner pushed out of the way by Tyrrell. Tyrrell wins possession well, hooks it back towards half forward. Big leap on from Beach, who went without it, and Sweetman retrieves the ball from behind the pack and works it away with handball to Gill. Gill out nicely to Sweetman, back to Gill, and out come Renmark. They're playing premiership football at the moment, the Rovers. Gill with a couple of bounces in towards the half-forward line. Modra out on the lead has got it, and Modra from 40 metres will shoot for goal number 9. And he's certainly within range, Big Rick. And it was a lovely passage of play involving Sweetman and Gill. And Rick Modra now taking plenty of time to size it up, kicking to the swimming pool end. Should make the distance. John Glasson, the man on the mark, as Modra fires on the goal. We wait on the goal umpire, and Modra's happy. Umpire Scott says it's a goal. Modra's kicked his 9th. Renmark go to 19-13, 127, leading Barmera-Monash 12-9, 81. And is that enough, Peter Kahn, to get him best of field ranking?
It go very close, but players like Hanley and John Personos have played sensational games that have given him opportunities to score those goals.
So Big Rick, he's been on a high today. He got the early goals, Leon, as we often see in the past. When he's like that, he's very dangerous.
Yes, certainly is, Rick. So, chance in the centre of the ground. Price against Murray, but Murray wins the tap down. Lurman's dealt with severely there, pushing the back, and Murray attempts to play on, but umpire Richie Roberts says bring it back, and Lurman to take the free kick in the centre square. Mature on the mark, so Tony Fisher would certainly be disappointed today. Des Kemp has tried for a number of seasons and hasn't worked, but they've come through the hard way. Simon Howe comes in subtly, but Simon Howe come in subtly and met young guy there, Rex.
DeCole.
Young DeCole. He certainly has played a wonderful game today. DeCole looking for Rick Modra, but no, he goes the opposite side. They're looking for Jason Rover. He must get the free kick. No, Kruger had hold of one hand there. Chance here for Handley. Handley against Burns. Burns goes in hard. Toddy Harris goes in hard. It spills off his boot. It could be out on the full, and it is. So things just aren't going the way of the Roos at the present time. Ball come off of Burns' foot there, I believe. So Handley on his wrong side. Plays on. Short. Kick is not good. Gathered in here by Matura. Matura comes out wide to Eleutheriadis, and Rex, he has got a paddock. He's got a huge paddock here.
Well, he comes through centre wing with one bounce, now a second. He draws the opposition, does it very well. The kick is long to the square, and he's got a teammate up there, and you can see it coming. And Jason Kasolki got his opponent under the ball and took the mark. Tony Venables up there now. Leone's transferred from one end of the ground to the other, and Jason Kasolki could bring up the 13th goal for Barmera-Monash as we approach the time-on period in the last quarter. So Kasolki, who's kicked 4 goals in the game, certainly within range, angle 45 degrees, will fire on the northern goal, and we wait on the goal umpire. It didn't look too good as it left the boot. It is 1 behind 1 point, a disappointing miss there by Kasolki, whose goal-scoring ability has deserted him a bit here in the latter part of the season. 12 goals, 10 now, 82 to 19-13, 127, and we're almost at time on in the last quarter.
4 goals through to Jason Kasolki today.
It's not a terrific conversion rate,
No.
Leon, but he has been something to aim at there. He certainly is a very fine mark of the football. Here comes the fullback in Personos, who kicks it out long towards the half-back flank. It'll be accepted down there by Barmera-Monash's pit away in the end towards Fletcher. Fletcher now to the square, but wide of the mark and out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a Renmark defender to take the resultant free kick. 127-82 and the last quarter of the grand final.
Personos to clear out. Certainly has been a wonderful player tonight, John Personos. He'll be on a big high tonight after coaching the Thurs to a premiership. So Personos to the outer side, scoreboard side. Big pack play, but again, it's just backwards and forwards at the moment as young Fletcher takes the mark. Certainly has had a fantastic last quarter. Fletcher from about 50-odd metres out goes into Eleftheriadis, and he takes the mark of the day. He plays on now, a chance to snap around his body that goes high in the air. Beach is in there with an opportunity, punched away by Schutz. Venables also in there for the Rovers, gets the handball out. Way it goes towards Murray. Murray to O'Shepper. O'Shepper with a long handball over the top. A chance for Renmark now through Aaron Gill, who's played a very, very good last quarter. Gill towards Murch and young Matthew Hutchinson. Murch with the strength and the experience. Gets it out wide towards Dempsey. Dempsey through the centre, protected here by Rover. Greg Dempsey with skill. Pumps up towards Robert Hanley. A chance also there for Bruce Eglinton. Over the back to Toddy Harris. In comes Gartrey. Away they go. An opportunity here now for Barmera-Monash to clear it out. Tim Kruger will be under pressure from Greg Dempsey. Doesn't get rid of the ball quick. Dempsey getting tired. It gets the handball out across there to Bruce Eglinton. Eglinton to the wing towards Toddy Clark and drops what he... Well, the winners
might sum it all up, Leon.
The winners can laugh.
Yeah, I think that could sum it up. 19-13 to 12 goals 10. We're into time on in the last quarter of the grand final as Price wins the tap. It's picked up by O'Shepper onto Ben Tracy. His handball will reach Mark Murray. Did the dummy very well indeed and got the call from Johnny Personos, the Renmark skipper, who indicates he'd like the lead from Modra, and he's done it too. Bang on the chest, and Modra will line up for goal number 10. And this is a real wonderful performance, Leon. I think that we will remember from many a long day. 10 goals would be very fitting too for the player who has really won hands down around the goal mouth area.
So I can't recall a 10-goal grand final performance before, Rex.
Runs up close to the man on the mark, and it's going right across the face of goal. In fact, it's still in play, and Modra made a bit of a mess of that. I think he was probably just out of range, attempted to get in close, and didn't quite make a success of that particular shot. 127-82 as the Rucks go to it. Modra wins the tap, but he had one hand on the shoulder, I'd suggest, and the free kick has been given away to Tim Kruger, who will relieve the pressure for Barmera.
He's had a pretty good season, Rex, hasn't he, Tim Kruger?
Yeah, and Kruger and Price have battled on pretty well in the ruck today because Rover and Murray were quite sensational last week in the preliminary final. Here's Clark, tacks the ball solidly. Clark wins it now and avoids the tackle of Rick Modra, and Clark will play on around on the left boot looking for Simon Howe, who's under the ball, and takes it very well. Simon Howe is off and running. Off the 5A crest he goes with 2 and 3 bounces. Gill in solidly at him, and Howe got the handball clear to Eleftheriadis to the very high tackle, and a free kick will be taken by the Barmera player. Too far out to score, but just outside 50. He plays on quickly towards Burns. The ball was very high, and Lellman comes in from the side and whacks it out of bounds. And they're playing now premiership football, Renmark. They can see the flag flying, I think. 19-13 to 12 goals 10. We've had 2 or 3 minutes now of time on in the last quarter.
Well, they're certainly hugging already down there, Rex. They're celebrating on the boundary line as Venables comes out and takes a solid mark in defence for the Rovers. He comes up towards half forward, a chance here, but it's a missed kick, and it's marked there by Eleftheriadis in front of young Greg Dempsey. So Eleftheriadis around the 50-metre mark. Comes in with a long kick. It's very, very high. It'll land right into the goal square. The big men can fly. A chance at the back, and Tony Venables takes a fantastic mark. He's kicked a couple of goals today, Venables. 2 goals, 3. Now in defence. Swap with Gartrey. Takes a bounce as he goes underneath the scoreboard. Tony Venables runs away. Big clash of bodies there, but Tony Venables still goes with his 4th bounce and his 5th. Well, this is an unbelievable run, Rex. Gets it up towards the half-forward on a fantastic performance there. Gartrey in front, could have really received the free kick over the top. It's a chance for Robert Hanley. Play on, says the umpire. Hanley can really seal this one now. Robert Hanley in the open goal and has kicked it. And what a way to finish for the Rovers. They're really on top now. It's 20-13, 133 to 12-10-82. A decisive victory and a fitting result there for Robert Hanley, who has been absolutely magnificent today, Rex.
Well, could rank as play of the day, that one.
Yes, absolutely.
Venables, no pressure on him, just carted the ball up the ground. and I think the free kick was paid, in fact, so good umpiring to give the advantage, and Hanley made no mistake at all as he ran into the open goal. 2013 plays 12 goals, 10. Ball back at centre field. Rover comes into the ruck opposed to Robert Price. And the ball will favour the Renmark ruckman. It's tapped out wide towards Lellman as the siren goes, and there's the premiership to Renmark. 2013, 133 to 12-10, 82. And the players rejoice out in the centre field area as they come off the Renmark bench. Hundreds of people now running onto this Loxton Oval to congratulate the Renmark Premiership team. The Barmera players gallant in defeat. They just weren't good enough today, and they hang their heads as the umpires leave the field. What a wonderful scene here as we see this Loxton Oval absolutely invaded by people as they rush out to congratulate their heroes. And Peter Kahn, you can't dispute the fact that Renmark played the better football today and justly deserved the premiership.
They were sensational today, Renmark. They just worked hard as a team, and you nearly could give everybody being the best players. Everyone did something for Renmark today, and you could see they worked their guts out to the end.
So there it is, the final scores of the 1995 Grand Final. Renmark 20 goals 13, 133 have defeated Barmera-Monash at 12 goals 10, which is 82 points, and a fine win here to Renmark. We'll be back shortly to gather our thoughts. So amid scenes of jubilation, we give you the leading goal scorers for Renmark. Rick Modra has kicked 9 goals and Robert Handley 4 and Greg Dempsey 3 to lead the way for the Rovers, whilst for Barmera-Monash, Simon Howe has kicked 4 along with Jason Kasolki, and Renmark well served today by their on-ballers in John Personos and Dale Lellman and Rick Modra to finish off play. And for Barmera-Monash, Leon, their best players perhaps a little harder to find, but they still had 1 or 2 very notable performers today.
Yeah, certainly Simon Howe was, I thought, to work pretty hard, particularly up forward, but I thought the ruckman Rex were very good today. Tim Kruger, in particular, around the packs, I thought Robert Price was also quite superb, but Clinton Burns worked particularly hard, but unfortunately today they were really probably outdone. Toddy Harris, likewise Rex in defence, but really all over the ground I think that Renmark we just played the better football today.
So that takes us out from coverage of the 1995 Grand Final. I'd like to thank the production team in particular, the Dyers Transport for getting the boys aloft the grandstand there to give us all the good vision today. And as the scenes of jubilation go on, the presentations will take place shortly. It's a very good afternoon from the boundary commentators Peter Kahn and Darren Hoytson-Roeder. With me in commentary today, Leon Filkey. Until we see you soon, it's a very good evening from the Loxton Oval.